and may be inappropriate for persons under the age of 18. You're listening to The Howard Stern Show on KGL Fort Worth, Dallas. A child's world is a fragile one, and that's why you need the Ben Stern Daycare Center. If you want to turn your child into an overachieving, self-hating megalomaniac who spends his days hiding from his family and his nights masturbating, then the Ben Stern Daycare Center will work for you.
Shut up! Sit down! Shut up! Sit down! Shut up! Sit down!
At the Ben Stern Daycare Center, learn current events.
Do you feel that the United States should remain in the United Nations as a member of the United Nations? Howard?
Yes, I really do. Well, there should be peace in all the countries and we wouldn't want any war.
Any spark of vitality will be eradicated by our professors.
Because we don't want the Japs anymore.
I told you not to be stupid, you moron.
Hear children being badgered into selecting a political party.
I myself is a Democrat. I'm a Democrat.
Shut up! Sit down!
If you want a son who dresses like a Hell's Angel and has never even ridden a moped, you need the Ben Stern Daycare Center.
Let me ask you another question. Now, Howard, I don't want any foolish answers from you, otherwise don't answer.
Every child is given every chance.
Well, let's say, if you want to be religious, I think you should go to it. And also, let's say...
Sit down!
You'll hear 4-year-olds intellectually bludgeoned by questions that send even William F. Buckley to the rubber room.
President Kennedy now is going around the country asking the people to vote for Democrats. He wants more Democrats in the House of Representatives and the United States Senate. Do you think that the president is doing a wise thing in going around the country asking the voters to support him by electing Democrats?
If you want a doctor or a lawyer, look elsewhere.
Shut up! Sit down!
But if you want a sniveling mess, the Ben Stern Daycare Center is for you. Here's a typical exchange.
Don't scream and don't talk not too close. Can I give you the signal?
What should you say?
What's the matter? You stupid?
Yeah.
Spy on our founder, Uncle Ben, mumbling to himself, and learn useless information that will confound you.
We are now testing this out for proper modulation. As you will know, when you record, the proper modulation that is required is for the electric eye, which is a green type of tube, will open and close as we record. Now I will play this back to hear the quality whether this is operating. Thank you.
Have your kids learn from a man who sings black show tunes like he has a head cold and a punctured eardrum.
Old Man River, that old man River, he must know something. He don't say nothing.
When they finally catch that new nut on the campus of the University of Florida, you can be sure that he's a graduate. These are the results of being locked in a dark room for 3 months.
Jelly bean, jelly bean, jelly bean, I wanna know.
Yes, even deaf children can be tortured as Ben cuts through on some sonic level only known to dolphins and whales.
And you'll never walk alone.
Now you know why he walks alone. The Ben Stern Daycare Center, beneficial for the future of our country.
And the world. Thank you very much.
The Ben Stern Day Center.
What's the matter? You stupid?
Why, yeah.
Shut up! Sit down!
Howard Stern. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, we got a very busy show today. I'll tell you all about it when we get back. I have to take a quick break. So we'll take a short break. We'll be back right after these words.
We know
return to the Howard Stern Show after these messages. 97.1 The Eagle.
6:09 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 6:14 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard, Harley, and Fuel Clock. 97.1 The Eagle.
Doggy.
Robert Vaughn. I listen to Howard Stern all the time.
Yeah.
I'd like you to also listen to Howard Stern all the time because he's good, man.
She's good. He's good. Good. Right.
Thank you, O.J. OJ's such a part of the show.
I don't know what we'd ever do without him.
2 years ago, if you told me OJ was going to be a major part of your show, I would have laughed at you.
You know what? I was watching The Towering Inferno last night.
OJ's best movie.
OJ's in that.
Yeah. He's the fifth Beatle. He's a pisser. It'd be funny, just OJ should permeate our entire society, like on Sgt. Pepper's album. It should just be OJ standing there, and, you know, it's everywhere. It's OJ.
It is, actually, because I was looking at the catalog for the Learning Annex, and there's some woman in there who says that she can interpret dreams.
He's good.
And one of her clients was OJ.
Yeah, OJ.
Her client list included O.J. Simpson.
I got to just mention this for a second. It's Spy Magazine. I guess Spy Magazine has come back. Were they gone for a while?
Yes.
Okay. Spy Magazine has come back, and I'm glad because I like Spy Magazine. They get some good ideas, and this is a wonderful idea. They took Kathy Lee Gifford's new book, the one with her and Cody on the cover, cuddling, Listen to My Heart.
Right. It's her book written by her and Cody.
Yeah. They took it and gave it to a psychiatrist.
Oh.
And had it analyzed.
Uh-huh.
And according to this doctor, she's got some major mental problems.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me what the doctor said.
Listen to My Heart. It should really be called Listen to My Ego, because that's what this doctor's basically saying. He's saying that Kathy Lee, just going by this book, he would say that her major problem seems to be that she can't relate to this kid Cody or anything in the world. Everything is just a possession of her, and how it relates to her.
Right. It's like Cody relates to her, and that's how she can deal with him.
Yeah, and he says everything that Cody does has to have a spin on it, a little cute little spin on it. Instead of dealing with reality, she's got to make wash everything away. In other words, she says, Cody expresses anger and distress, and instead, Kathy Lee feels compelled to take any kind of conflict that Cody has and take any kind of confrontation that Cody has and put a cute twist on it. So not only does she often provoke her son by her own behavior, but then when he expresses his feelings, she minimizes them and turns them into something cute.
Oh, he's going to be in good shape
Yeah.
when she's done with him.
I saw in this a woman who was very self-centered, very controlling, and who has a great deal of anger with which she was unable to cope.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, get down to it.
Like, they go through each story. Like, Cody had a binky, and the binky was his pacifier. They called it a binky.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody loved the binky.
Yeah.
But Kathy Lee fretted because she didn't know how she'd get the binky away from Cody. Of course, Kathy Lee couldn't stand him loving anything other than her. So
she has to separate him from his binky.
So one day she took it, she hid it, and Cody was frantically looking for the binky. So finally, she, after torturing the kid and making him run around looking for his binky, she finally said to him, well, you see that garbage man over there? It was thrown in the garbage, and he took your binky away.
Oh.
So now every time the kid sees a garbage truck,
he screams.
He screams for his binky. Meanwhile, she's the one who took away his binky, not the garbage man.
And she's putting herself up as Mother of the Year.
Yeah, she's garbage. She's taking this kid further away from reality than OJ. So evidently, was that OJ?
It happens.
Yeah. Kathy Lee suffers from binky envy. This is a great article. Former President Gerald Ford and his wife Betty visited the Gifford home in Colorado. Kathy Lee, who has ordered new sofas, was, in her words, worried about her husband Frank because Frank was going to kill her if the sofas weren't there. All week long, I'd been training Cody to say, "Good evening, President Ford. Good evening, Mrs. Ford." Oh,
How
what a
old is
life.
this
Yeah, I know.
At this time that she's torturing him.
Yeah. Doesn't she have anything better to do than to train this kid? He's like a dog.
Yeah, go fast.
She thinks she's the world's best mother. I guarantee you this kid's going to be on the shrink's couch, and he's going to be on Geraldo screaming how he can't stand Kathy Lee.
He'll be in the fetal position.
Yeah. So anyway, she says she should change that kid's name from Cody to Lassie. All right, because he's like a trained dog. Lassie, what? Jump through the hoop, Cody.
Roll over.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So Kathy Lee says, oh, my God, we don't have the sofas. So now I'm thinking, what could I do to introduce... What can I do? So I introduce them one more time to my adorable son. I say, Cody, don't you have something to say to President and Mrs. Ford? He looks at them, puts on his nasty face and says, nothing, and runs away. I'm just starting to get everything under control. That's the other thing you say about Kathy Lee. She's like a real control freak,
right.
like obsessive.
Yeah.
Like everything.
I mean, it doesn't say anything to her that her son put on a nasty face and ran away, that he like resented all the stuff he had done through all week.
Well, of course. Yeah. I'm just starting to get everything under control when I hear Cody scream from the other room, somebody come and wipe my buns. He's in the bathroom. He's got poo all over him. He's got diarrhea. I said, oh, Cody, I can't believe this. I'm so upset, so frustrated by now. No sofas, no adorable child. Okay. Fred's all upset.
I mean, she just compared him to a couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
More than anything else, this story crystallizes Kathy Lee's narcissism. She's apparently so self-involved that she views others only as objects. Thus, comparing Cody to a couch.
That's it.
This attitude is so all-pervasive that, according to Feldman, that's the shrink.
Right.
She's not even focusing on the Fords as people, but merely on impressing them with herself. The fact is, she can react to Cody only in terms of a laundry list of things that have been ruined for her. Let's see. The fact that she can react to Cody only in terms of a laundry list of things that have been ruined for her shows how insensitive Kathy Lee is to her son as a person. His illness is parallel to a sofa's arrival.
Yeah, she didn't even think, oh, my goodness, my son has something wrong with him. She's like,
or as you just said,
diarrhea in the couch pan.
That she, in fact, trained Cody, age 3 at the time, to say this formal, polite greeting is in itself stressful for a toddler. It's no wonder he gets diarrhea. The kid was probably screwy out of his mind.
Well, he was doing exactly what you do when you're anxious. You F in your pants.
Yeah, well, I remember I had a teacher that used to yell at me all the time. It was a substitute teacher. Whenever she came in, I'd get sick. I'd get 102 fever. They'd have to send me home from school. Can you imagine how this kid must have felt? He's a 3-year-old.
This is the performance of a lifetime to him.
One can speculate that Kathy Lee's behavior is the cause for his upset stomach. It seems she even makes her own son sick.
No. Oh, man.
He should have thrown his diarrhea at Kathy Lee.
Here's my poo.
You got rid of my binky, but I still got my poo.
The story also illustrates another intriguing shortcoming. If you're a Freudian, continues Dr. Feldman, this is a textbook case in penis envy. The phraseology she uses is at best a staggering coincidence. Twice she describes the sofaless room as a gaping hole. A strange way to describe it even once. The extreme anxiety she feels, evident throughout the book, suggests that there is something constant that she is missing. A penis. So, if the father of psychotherapy is to be believed, Cody becomes Kathy Lee's penis. In fact, toilet talk is often found in this slim volume. When Cody mimics the Jerry Poupon commercial, the Grey Poupon commercial, it is Kathy Lee who responds, I am Grey Poupon. I poop on this, I poop on that, I poop on everything. She delights in toilet talk with him because that's what her unresolved issues are. At the heart is the wish to play with her feces. But since that's unacceptable, she has to be really clean and super neat. She never got over this conflict. Her control is a millimeter thick, so she has to have everything perfect. But all it takes is a little infantile play and she regresses to a 3-year-old. She's a duty girl. It happens. Will Kathy Lee seek therapy? Something else that disturbed Dr. Feldman was the striking absence of Cody's father from the book. That's true.
Well, even when I was watching her on those telethons and stuff, I said, you know, there's something strange about her relationship with Cody.
In fact, a few times that Kathy Lee mentions the old man, he's presented in a bad light. Kathy Lee even seems to like it when Cody feels negatively towards his father. And to that fact, she says, point blank, Frank never even wanted more children.
That's a nice thing to constantly say about your husband. He didn't want you.
Yeah.
You know, your father didn't want you.
This aspect of the book is particularly damaging. Kathy Lee is playing up the natural competition that exists in the father-son relationship, comments Dr. Feldman. The fact that she rewards these anti-father expressions on the child's part suggests that she feels competitive for her son's affection. I'm telling you, she's as cuckoo as they come, according to this.
I hope this is not true, because poor Cody's going through hell already.
Oh, I'm telling you, this guy Cody is going to end up, it's going to be the greatest thing when you turn on TV.
The greatest fall.
Yeah, it's going to be so great.
There'll be Cody House.
I was in the rehab clinic for like 7. I hope this happens.
And Cody will be in a cardboard box in front of him.
Yeah, right. I was in the rehab center for a few years because after my parents broke up, I don't know, I just kind of got into pot, and then one thing led to another, and I was into coke and heroin.
Yeah, my mother's Kathy Lee.
Dennis the Menace will laugh at Cody.
Just imagine how upset poor Cody got when his mother made him come out on stage and introduce her at that Carnegie Hall concert.
With all the wackiness going on in the Gifford home, there seems to be an obvious question. Would Kathy Lee benefit from therapy? The challenge, according to Dr. Feldman, would be getting America's sweetheart onto the couch. She has so many defense mechanisms working overtime here that she, at least at this point, thinks there's nothing wrong with her. And that's, you could tell.
That's the primary.
Yeah.
She thinks he's perfect.
She does. She reminds me of a mom I knew when I was growing up who, sort of outwardly doted on the kids and was thoroughly obnoxious and had to tell everyone about their children and how great they were. And she's one of those people who doesn't realize, unless it's your own kid,
nobody else sees that.
Nobody else sees it.
Nobody else wants to hear it.
They just see you as an obnoxious, self-centered dope.
But also, it's absolutely true what they're saying. The reason that mother is doting on the kid is because it's a reflection of her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. In fact, they got this. This is Dr. Feldman, one of the few people in America who did not know who Kathy Lee Gifford was, says that he was truly shocked that anyone would write a book like this. The very act of writing a book is a harmful thing to do to a child. If I had heard this from a patient describing his mother, I would think there was some distortion, but here it is, in the mother's own words.
Yeah, she's telling on herself.
Yeah. The book is a primer on the anal character Kathy Lee is in conflict. She has to keep things orderly and in control. This is Spy Magazine is really good. Although they kind of ripped me off. I mean, this is what I did in my book. I had a psychiatrist analyze my book, but that's okay.
Well, that's your book. They analyzed Kathy Lee's book. That's
there you go. No, there's their
twist.
twist.
To a new level.
Yeah. They wanted to give Dr. Feldman Quivers Alive. Refused to read it.
He couldn't take it.
Read 3 pages, close it.
I'm out of this.
Yeah, he said,
I need therapy.
Yeah, I'm a little stressed out right now.
Dr. Feldman said, where's my therapist?
Yeah. All right. Felt like a little plug in.
Give him an easier book.
Right. Well, Listen to My Heart, Lessons in Love, Laughter, and Lunacy. The new memoir by Kathy Lee and Cody Gifford. Anyway, they recommend therapy for Kathy Lee. But, of course, she'll read this and go, oh, that's so ridiculous. I have nothing wrong with me. Everything's perfect.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in that house.
Poor
man. Gif over in a corner.
Yeah.
He's been used up. She got his sperm, produced the kids.
Kathy Lee. I have that book sitting on my desk at home. It sits on my desk. Everyone sees it's out on display. It's the Kathy Lee Gifford book with Cody, and I got it on my desk with a nice picture of them sitting there under the tree. Mm-hmm. And I pick it up and I read it. And I can't believe it. I should bring it in so we can read it together on the air.
Read excerpts.
Yeah, and analyze it. I think that's great. So that's a plug for Spy. That's a good one.
I told you when I saw them together, you know, she does this thing in that telethon she does where she was, or was it that Christmas special where she was reading Cody a book about himself that she had written?
Yeah. But, of course, she wrote it.
Miserable.
Yeah.
He's just squirming, trying to get out of there in the worst way.
They should show that psychiatrist the Kathy Lee Gifford Christmas special when she's forcing those kids to sit there and listen to Billy Graham drone on about religion. Oh, if that kid isn't going to be a religious paranoid, I don't know who he is.
And, you know, the whole fact that I don't allow my son to watch TV. I give him only religious videos.
It's going to be real normal. He's not going to rebel too much. And then...
I mean, really, is he going to turn to the dark side?
Oh, man.
He has no choice.
Cody Gifford will be mine. If I stay on the radio, Cody Gifford will be mine in about 10 years. I will own him lock, stock, and barrel. He will come to me.
He'll be a member of this show. He'll be on every day.
He's going to come to me. I'm going to be his daddy. That happens with every kid. They all come to me.
All you people with your perfect children.
Yeah, all perfect children end up in my arms. The dark side. That's what happens.
Cody. Come to me. Come to me, Cody. Mommy drove you crazy. Come to the dark side. Sit on my thorny lap. Come to your king.
You know what?
Robin.
I bet the doctor doesn't even know that Cody has a sister.
No. Imagine if he knew that.
What's going to happen to poor Cassidy because she's completely forgotten in all this?
Cody, come and suck the snot from Satan's nose.
I would love to.
I would love to.
I would love to.
Cody will be mine. Like so many children who have come before them when they reach the age of 14 or 15. They come over to this show, rejecting the values of Kathy Lee and accepting Howard's word. Right, Robin?
That's it.
It's always funny when all these parents who hate me and then their kids grow up and then they start listening to me.
Yeah, she's going to have us on in the morning. How's that?
That's right. And she'll have to, in order to be cool, she'll have to come on this show to prove to Cody that she is cool.
Yeah, trying to relate to her son now through us.
Yes. I can't wait for the day when little Cody grows up and he's on Geraldo talking about his tortured life, how he started wearing women's clothes at the age of 16.
I was just trying to think of those famous words in Jackie's song about when he turned to booze.
Yeah.
Cody beat his record.
His mother had to have him locked up because she used to put razor blades in her cold cream because he couldn't stand her.
He's already crawling around trying to get into the liquor cabinet.
Yeah. She has no idea what she's creating.
This boy has anxiety.
Yeah. Where's my binky, damn it?
He's got diarrhea from her.
Yeah. Well, I got to bring in that book. It's kind of funny. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back. Melrose Larry Green is out front. He wants to come in and say hello.
Yeah, I saw him out there yesterday. He says he's doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. He's always doing something. He's counting his money. His mother left him like $1.6 million.
Well, you know, I figure he'll have run through it.
Yeah.
In a few years, and then we won't have to worry about it.
You're absolutely right. He sent me a tape. He's already doing, public access television where you have to pay to be on television.
Right.
And you can tell he put a lot of money into the production and stuff. You can tell he's going right through his mom's money.
Just like a buzzsaw.
Yeah. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1, The Eagle.
6:33 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. Eagle. It's 6:37 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard Stern all morning. Pure rock all day. Yeah. 97.1 The Eagle. Let's return to The Howard Stern Show.
I'm going to give 3 seconds to Melrose Larry Green because it's more than I can take. This is the guy who stands out on Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles with signs about the Howard Stern show.
Well, lately he's been at the O.J. trial.
Yeah.
Standing outside, yelling at witnesses as they try to leave the courtroom.
And he really has no life other than the fact that his mother just gave him $1.6 million when she died, which must have distressed her. That
this is the only place she had to leave her money.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like someone in charge of the money so that Melrose doesn't squander it. Because he'd be an easy guy to fleece.
I don't know. It seems to me that since she died, he's been pretty free.
Well, I know he bought a computer because he's on Prodigy all the time. Every time I go on there, I'm talking to Melrose Larry Green. Hey, Melrose.
You can't get away from him.
Good morning. Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
Look at Melrose got all kind of junk in his hand. What are you carrying with you?
I heard I'm only getting 3 seconds?
Yeah.
I should leave then.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
No.
You can leave.
Good morning, Howard.
Hey, Melrose.
I'm going to be mellow in this segment.
All right.
Just answer the question.
So Melrose is in New York, and one wonders when he sleeps because he was on Letterman last night because he was standing outside the Letterman, the Letterman show with his signs. What do you carry Howard Stern signs outside of Letterman?
Yes.
You do. And he was standing there, and Letterman did one of his bits where he comes running out of the building. So Melrose was on camera for about a tenth of a second.
Oh, and that made his day. That was worth the trip.
So he was going around telling everyone he was on Letterman last night.
I thought he was.
Yeah. And then even you think that's stupid, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes. And anyway, so then then he's here at 4 o'clock in the morning standing around with his signs about Howard Stern show outside our building.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you sleep?
Well, I just want to say very, very briefly.
When did you sleep?
I sleep after Letterman. Conan is not worth staying up for.
So what did you do? You slept?
Go to bed about 12:30.
Because he stayed up to watch Letterman. Even though Letterman tapes at 5:30, he stayed up to watch it.
Sure, he had to see himself.
Yeah.
Am I talking too much?
No. I'm just wondering when you slept. You slept for 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah, 3 hours.
They say mental patients don't need a lot of sleep.
Yeah, and he would qualify.
Right. Were you sleeping in a hotel?
Yeah.
And you stay in a fine hotel, right?
Yeah, I'm staying in a hotel for $45 a night. Only problem is you don't have your own bathroom. You share a bathroom with a Brazilian soccer team, that kind of thing.
That's pretty funny. Oh, you got stuff written down. Look at that. You got jokes written down.
Well, he's an MC at the Comedy Store or something.
Hey, thank you for that plug.
Let me see those. Let me see your notes. Let me see those. Yeah, let me see your jokes. I want to see his jokes.
How long did he work on this routine?
Yeah. What do you see? Look at this. Here you go.
And don't forget, Cousin Richie.
Oh, I see. These are people you want to thank. Prodigy, Ratso, Kim. I see.
Kim's the girl that I think I'm going out with, but I'm really not.
I see. And let's see here. Here is different jokes.
What are his jokes?
Well,
where are the jokes?
Well, I have song. I'm doing a Christmas tape that's coming out the day after Labor Day. Only if
I see. He's got Puerto Rican parade.
Yeah,
he wants to talk about.
I didn't know about the Puerto. You see, I don't want to talk a lot.
Yeah, well, good. Yeah. That's good. So anyway. Melrose's mother left him, what is it, $1.6 million?
Do we have to talk about that?
It is $1.6 million, right?
We got to talk about it, right?
Yeah. Is it $1.6 million or are you just making that up?
It's still in probate.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So you're spending all the money before you even get it?
No.
What do you mean it's in probate? Didn't she leave it to you?
I got a lawyer in Florida.
But what is the contention?
There's no contention. You have to...
all wills go through probate.
You always go through probate.
So you can't get your hands on any of the money?
No, I don't want to at this point.
You don't?
There is ITF money, yeah.
What is that?
In trust for. That means you don't have to go through probate. It bypasses probate.
I see. How much is in trust for?
Do I have to tell you?
Yeah.
$80,000.
$80,000?
And that's what you've been living on?
Because you're going through I saw that public access show you did.
That's free. I've done that before I had money.
Yeah, and who paid for the production of it?
There's no pay. There's no fee. You know, as
I
you give them a half-inch tape, there's no fee.
Yeah, so who made the half-inch tape?
$2 for a videotape.
No. Who paid for the cameras?
They pay for it. Continental Cable pays for everything.
They do?
Yeah.
But and how much does it cost just to...
I don't know. They pay for it.
I don't buy that at all.
I swear to God. It's not like New York Cable.
They produced that show.
Yeah. But can I just say that they produce it? And
right.
I have nothing. I don't pay anything for that. I've been doing it for years. But I want to say to you, Howard, that I'm not an ass kisser. All right?
No, you know what it is? You come in here with an agenda and you can't even concentrate on my questions.
No, I'm concentrating.
I'm asking you about the money. So the point is that when you get the money, you know enough to keep it in the bank and not let people get to it?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
I'm going to go with Ratso's guy for a financial advisor, the guy that advises Bob Dylan.
Oh, yeah? Okay, very good.
You know what's funny about him, Howard? he falls in love, like he was in love with one of the girls from her New Year's Eve pageant.
Right.
But nothing happened.
Right.
She strung him along. So now he's in love with this girl who's on page 12 of Hustler.
23.
You don't think she's going to, get her hands on that money, a girl like that? Because he goes crazy for
She's
women.
not like that. Let me tell you.
How did you meet her?
You met her?
I got to thank Stuttering John for this.
Yeah.
Stuttering John had a record release party at the Roxy a year and 2 months ago, and she was there. And I met her before my mother died.
Let me see.
Very sweet girl. We're not dating. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah, you wish you could get her.
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
Have you taken her out to dinner?
Oh, yes. Yes, we go out to dinner in Los Angeles.
But you never got anything off her.
No, can I say she's on 23 in August? Well, I don't want to say, I don't want to discuss sex on the air, but we're not dating.
Right.
And we don't sleep together.
Right. All right, you know what? No one cares, Melrose. I'm already bored with you.
He doesn't want to discuss sex because he's not having it.
Yeah, right. All right, so anyway, people
sing a song?
No, and you know what? I saw the tape of Melrose has this plan. He wants to release a Christmas song.
Yeah, he
tape.
laid that on me yesterday.
And I watched, Ratso was over my house and said, hey, watch Melrose's tape. And I put it in for 2 seconds, and I was just like, it's just not even funny, Melrose.
Well, all right.
It's not funny.
See, that's where I think lots of money's going.
No, it's not.
Put together.
There's something going on with this money. Suddenly there are Melrose projects that require money.
No.
And he doesn't have enough common sense to know they're not funny.
Howard, let me say this.
No one's going to buy that, Melrose.
No one's going to buy it.
And then he's in New York. You know why he's here?
Why?
Because he wants Don Buchwald to represent him, my agent.
No, not
is he meeting with him?
No, he's not meeting with him. He's probably standing outside the building.
No, I know. I do not. I have the Howard Stern is coming to town.
Yeah.
I'm dreaming of a Stern Christmas. I got the music.
It's not funny. Go ahead, do something for Robin.
All right.
Do it.
All right.
But I'm going to cut you off in 2 seconds.
Oh, you have to let me sing?
No, go ahead.
Howard's coming.
Make it loud.
To town. You better watch out. You better get ready. Please don't cut me off. I'm telling you why. Howard Stern is coming to town. This is Melrose Larry Green. Oh, Howard's so tall. Howard's the king. I met Ratso Sloman. Howard likes everything. Howard Stern is... I'm going to do this all over the country.
So he has a video... All right, that's good. That's enough. Yeah, that's enough.
You might see Baba Booey.
Can you imagine a whole tape of that?
Everybody
And he thinks that's funny.
Throw everything you want. Everybody in the show is going to be in my tape. All the interns, Robin, everybody's... Now, can I just... I know you're going to kick me out, but before you kick me out...
Jackie keeps throwing papers.
Raining paper.
He's throwing the whole time he's talking, Jackie keeps beating Melrose over the head with papers.
Number one, I would love Nancy Sirianni Martling to sing on my tape.
Yeah, right.
Number two,
she probably would.
Yeah. Well, she's as cuckoo as you are.
Hey,
yeah, right.
Let me tell you.
Now Jackie stopped throwing papers.
Yeah, he's got
I am willing to give. I know Don Buckle will never allow me to use your name on the tape.
Right.
But if he does,
he's not going to.
Okay, I know that. Then I won't use your name.
I can already tell you he's not going to.
Fine. I was going to give you 50% of everything.
I don't want anything.
There's nothing.
I don't want anything from you.
50% of nothing?
He's going to give you 50% of everything. 50% of nothing.
Fine, all right.
Right.
I'm going to be going to the different markets, doing my songs after Labor Day.
All right, okay. Thanks for coming in. Okay.
Can I give out a number?
No.
No?
What do you mean, a number?
A phone number. If
for what?
wants to book me.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Going on tour.
213.
Yeah.
463 2662.
All right.
213. I won't be back till Thursday in the office. 463
Office.
Yeah, he's got to answer the phone, too.
I'm in the office.
It's not like there's anybody there.
You know what, he literally, you know why he's mental? Because, I mean, he literally stays out on the street all day with his signs. And he has no life.
Have you seen those videotapes of him? He spends 15 hours in front of the O.J. trial.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, O.J. is so guilty. It's not funny.
Yeah.
Enough about me. O.J. is so guilty. The reason why I really love you, Howard, is because you're the only guy in the entire country to really call a shot on O.J.
Right.
I know that he's guilty. And the funniest thing that you've ever done in the years that I've been listening, in the 3 to 4 years that we've been in L.A., and I got to say, I got to hear it again before I go back to L.A., that thing on the doctor. You know, L.A.
All right. Okay, thanks, thanks a lot, Larry. Melrose Larry Green. All right, bye. All right, bye.
I didn't recover of the Can I say,
Stupidest thing.
Carl, thank you for taping this.
All right.
The stupidest thing is watching Jackie sit at point-blank range, firing those...
Yeah, I mean, Jackie sits about 3 inches away from Melrose Larry and takes pieces of balled-up paper and throws it in his face.
Okay.
And it doesn't even slow him down.
No.
It's not even slowing down. And this is the saddest part. Melrose came in with about 900 pieces of paper to talk about stuff.
For no reason.
For no reason. Yeah, that's a segment.
How was it, okay?
Yeah.
We're not on the air anymore.
He has these total non sequiturs, like he just mumbled under...
What?
He has these total non sequiturs. He just mumbled under his breath. San Diego's going to hate me.
Oh,
I'm like, I don't know what that means.
No, non sequitur. They don't air Jackie's plugs in San Diego. That's a fact.
They don't air Jackie's plugs in San Diego.
And I have proof of that. And they edit. I'm never going to work San Diego again.
Yes. You know, why do they do that?
They don't do.
Why do they do? Is that really true? Do you know that for a fact?
Yes. Cross Country Carl's got the tapes, played them for me, and I listen to the 91X in L.A.
Well, tell Cross Country Carl to become one of my CIA holes.
CIA hole for the West Coast.
Yeah, well, tell him to do that, because I can't take it.
Why would he plan for Larry? Plan for us.
Understand what we're talking about. There are individual stations around the country that carry the show that for some reason take it upon themselves to edit out certain things of our show, and I want the show pulled off the air in those markets. Why should they edit out their Jackie's plug? Who's going? I mean, why would you do that? It's part of the show. Oh, be quiet, Jackie.
That's the truth. I wouldn't lie about it. I wouldn't say anything that's not good.
Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't.
Okay, I'm out of here.
All right. Look how it takes him an hour to get dressed to get out.
He has to redress himself.
And now he's all depressed because it's over. All right. Thanks, Melrose. Yeah. Yeah, he is disturbing.
If he was out there at 8 o'clock, he'd be a nut, but he is literally there at 5:30.
I know.
Forget
every day.
Kathy Lee, Analyze.
Melrose.
Larry.
America's sweetheart, Melrose Larry Green. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
More to come when the Howard Stern Show returns in a moment. 97.1 The Eagle.
6:49 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 6:53 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Call Howard on the Eagle's toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Jackie the Joke Band Marlowe, over 350 filthy jokes on CD or cassette. It's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. 1-800-323-KING for Jackie. Visit Jokeland on the World Wide Web. For jokes and Jokeland's internet address, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. Don't forget, Robin's new book is out on the shelves right now, called Quivers of Life. Pick it up, see what we're talking about. Lord knows we haven't stopped talking about it.
People said they love that commercial of the book.
Well, I'll run that again. Anybody hear Robin's radio commercial for Quivers of Life, the book? This was the one that they wouldn't air.
I don't know why.
New from Hooter Press. It's a sexy book. It's a provocative book. It's a book about a really screwed up life. It's Quivers, a Life. It's the story of how a newswoman grew up in Baltimore and survived horrible incest with her father.
Yeah.
Her family friend.
That's my favorite part.
Her priest and cab driver. Relive Robin's days as a member of British society.
Jessica did a holiday.
Experience the part of Robin's life where she practiced witchcraft with a cult in San Francisco. Remember Robin's early days when she was doing the world's worst impressions of Joan Rivers.
Edgar and I went to the Greek islands.
Liza Minnelli. I'm getting a divorce. And Rocky the Flying Squirrel.
And this is a bow lorgnette.
Read about the first time Robin took it in the tailpipe from a married man. Also in the Robin Quivers book, you'll learn about how Robin battled cancer with seaweed.
I love seaweed wraps. I had already discovered those when I went away to a spa. I love them.
Read about her thrilling decision to change from afro to braids and have life-saving breast reduction surgery.
The discovery of seaweed wraps.
Whatever you do, don't skip the chapter about when Robin had sex tied to a refrigerator.
I was handcuffed around a piece of furniture.
After reading her book, celebrities everywhere want to now have sex with Robin. Right, Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes.
How about you, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
More now than ever before.
Hey, Kato Kalin. Would you like a shot at Robin?
Wouldn't you?
It's so painful. It's so shocking. It's so effed up. You'll wish you had Alzheimer's so you could forget every painful syllable of Quivers, a Life.
There you go.
Available at science fiction counters everywhere.
There. Can't forget that tagline. Very nice job. Hey, I want you to see one thing. I have to invite Melrose Larry Green back in. I just want you to notice something. Hey, Melrose, come in here with your stupid boombox.
Yeah, let him see.
I want him to sing that song again.
Okay.
Melrose came in here and said that he'd put up some money to do a Christmas album or something.
Right. He said he's doing a Christmas album, and he wants to mention us in every line of the song.
Well, how can I help you?
All right. Do me a favor. Cover your ears. Don't put the headphones on yet, and turn around. I don't want you to hear something. I'm going to say something to Robin. I only want Robin to hear
Cover
it.
my ears.
Cover your ears and turn around. All right. You can't hear that, right?
No.
All right, keep your ears covered.
Put your fingers in them.
Put your fingers in there.
Over.
All right.
Watch when he sings, and he looks at me. Looks like he's in love with me.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Now what?
All right, you can do it now.
All right, Melrose. Do you a song. Do something from your Christmas album.
No, a different song.
A different one. Or the same. I don't care. Or the second verse of the.
I also have Hanukkah song.
You got a Hanukkah song? Any song you want, you can sing.
Okay.
Okay?
Take that right up to the microphone.
All right.
Okay.
Here, yeah.
It's still going forward a little.
All right.
What do you want to hear?
Yes, get the boombox.
I got like I have Ratso Sloman, Ratso. You know, I have like.
Do some about the Howard Stern show.
I know, but I have Hanukkah, I have Christmas, I have Hanukkah, and I have Auld Lang Syne also.
Whatever you want. You have
He
all
has
these.
Hanukkah, he has Christmas, he has Hanukkah.
Howard Stern is very funny. Howard is the king of media. Howard Stern, he earns his money. Howard is the king of media. Ba ba booey, ba ba booey. Howard thinks I'm on Prozac, but I'm normal. Howard
All right,
Stern.
very good. Thank you. That's it.
You want anything else?
No, I just wanted Robin to see the look of love in your eyes when you do it. You're in love with me, aren't you?
No.
Yes, you are.
No. I wish.
Maybe he
that
needs a light.
You wish you were me or something.
Exactly.
Something's going on.
I wish I were you, but I'm not obsessed with you.
No, but you wish you were me.
Am I wearing the Howard Stern jacket? Of course I wish you was you. How can anybody not be? You got a wife and 3 lovely daughters.
Right.
You got a great life.
Right.
I'm on. Can I say one thing? I'm on the Metrix diet.
Are you really?
And I bought the Brother Pizza.
Boy, you look great.
Wow, good for you.
Thanks to you. And Dial Mattress is now in Florida, and Florida loves you. And Cousin Richie is a great
All right,
guy. And
thanks.
truly.
All right, thank you.
I feel like a part of the family. You are right.
He's so obsessed with my life that he knows my cousin and he knows my cousin Julie.
I got video
He
Cousin Richie. I'm sending it in next week.
Florida to go see your cousin.
Right.
I may be at your book signing, by the way.
Yeah.
June 24th at
Great.
Borders.
Are you going to go down there?
In Kendall, yeah.
Good.
You know, he knows my schedule before I do.
What is
It's
Kendall?
amazing.
Kendall is a suburb of Miami.
Wow.
And Robin will be at Borders on June 24th.
And you're going to fly out
I know
there.
Big 106 is going to love this.
You're going to fly out there?
Yeah. Why not? I have
You've
no
got
life.
money.
I have no life.
And you've got the money for it.
Right.
So you're not working at all now?
I am working, yeah.
Why? You're going to get $1.6 million.
There's plenty of work involved. I'm the executive of the estate.
You have all the money. There's no one else that's getting any
My
part
brother.
of that.
Oh, your brother gets money?
Yeah, he listens on 91X. Yeah.
So is he getting part of the 1.6 or is he getting...
He's getting half, yeah.
Oh, so you're not getting 1.6?
No, he's getting also about 1.6. It's a big estate.
So it's a big estate.
Oh. Ooh,
Your mother was that rich?
Yeah, my mother was a writer, and my father was a director of laboratories at the Brookdale Hospital Medical Center in Brooklyn.
And you can make that much money?
Well, we have a good broker, Dick Dillon's at Payne Weber, yeah.
And what about your mom was what?
A writer. She wrote for Woman's Day, Family Circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they had like a $3 million estate?
Yeah, they lived in Woodmere, Long Island, on Allen Road, yeah.
No kidding.
I went to Hewlett High School.
You don't think he's going to get fleeced? Is there going to be somebody in charge of the money?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Ratso's Bob Dylan's guy. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I met Dylan, by the way, through Ratso.
Yeah, I heard. Okay, thanks a lot.
All right. Any other questions?
No, that's it.
Dylan thought you were okay.
Can I just say one thing about Robin's book very, very quickly?
All right, quickly.
Every Stern fan...
Why don't you just leave?
Okay, you must read Robin's book.
Right.
Because I just want to say this very quickly, because we started listening in L.A. in 91, but what Robin does is Robin paints the portrait of Howard Stern in those
Robin's actually taking you seriously now.
in those lean years.
Right.
Those lean years.
Don't let anybody talk about
I know. All of a sudden I looked over at you and you're like, yes.
Shut up, Howard.
Yes, Melrose.
Much like in Ratso's book, you feel like you know Bob Dylan. I met, Lou Kemp when I was in L.A. and all the other people on the Rolling Thunder tour.
Would you stop kissing Ratso's ass just because he takes your phone calls? Please, it's annoying. Goodbye.
All right, you really feel like you know Robin.
Right.
And this book is of course, it's not as good as Private Parts, but nothing is.
No, it's every bit as good. Please, it's not a rivalry, yeah.
It's not a rivalry, it's a different book.
We don't feel that way about each other.
Everyone must read
If we
it.
do, we try to conceal it.
The
You're
thing
right.
is, I told Gary, Robin, I told Gary, there is a typo on page 119.
Oh,
You know
there's
about that?
plenty of them.
Only one.
Plenty of them. Yeah, you only found one?
Yeah,
You've only read the book once, then.
You know, that's a
But
sure sign that he's nuts.
it's
He
a
only
great-
saw one.
Yeah.
Great book. And it paints the DC.
And that really pisses me off. When you do a book, you're supposed to have people who go through it. And
You know what they do? They put it on a machine. And even when the people have gone back and corrected the mistakes, the machine then goes back and makes more mistakes.
I know, because what happened was, when I wrote my book, some of the words I intentionally, like the F word, sometimes I didn't put the G at the end of it, and sometimes I put it just I-N, but I wanted it that way.
Right.
Then some guy would go through it and correct it.
I don't know if they had Only Humans doing your book. But
Yeah.
they put mine on a machine, and the machine is horrible.
Like a spell check.
But yeah, because if it had, there was the name Don in my book, and there was the name Dom
Yeah.
in my book.
Yeah.
And the machine went through and changed every Dom to Don.
Yeah, you see, that I don't know how they trust the machine to do that.
So stupid. When there was another L name and the name Leah, they went and changed all the names to one name.
Well, you know how come I didn't have any typos in my book? I think I might have had one. I'm not sure. My assistant, Laura Lackner, actually went through the book, and she's like real meticulous and really read through it a couple of times and looked for any typos. That was the only reason I didn't have any.
Well,
she found hundreds.
The problem is with my book is they took it away from me and they told me I was going to get it back again, and I never got it.
Yeah.
They just rushed it right through the printer, and so I never saw it again.
Yeah, that happens.
To fix all those problems.
But
that happens.
It happens.
It happens.
You're an amazing person, though, Howard. Because I remember when you were doing the book, people said to you, well, listen, there's going to be typos. It's unavoidable. And you said, not in my book.
Yeah, I went nuts. I went ballistic when I heard that.
But you know what then happened? Because you can't fix these people. So then half of Howard's books in one printing were turned upside down.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. My second printing,
terrible.
who cares? Well, meanwhile, Melrose is here, acting like one of the guys.
I'm cavelling.
You're cavelling. Okay, very good.
All right, so I better leave.
We got to get him out of here before
the senator gets here. Get out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we have a real senator coming. Get out.
Tomato?
No, not Tomato.
Okay.
Senator Arlen Specter.
Oh, wow. I'm a big fan of him.
All right, get out.
Okay. All right, I'm going to leave. Thank you very much, Howard.
All right, thanks, Melrose.
Thank you very much.
All right, and make
Kim
sure you
probably
leave.
never talk to me again.
Right.
You want her number to call?
Who?
Kim, the girl, the hustler?
No, thanks.
I'm out. I'll be in front of the studio.
All right. Thanks.
Could you go over to the side?
If you want to meet with Melrose, we'll be in front of the studio doing business.
First, I got a call back in about years.
Right. All right, thanks, Melrose. Did you see the look of love on his face when he sang about me?
That was frightening, Howard.
Yeah, I want to make sure the E-camera got that. Hey, speaking of the E-camera, tonight at 11 on the E-show, Sandra Taylor, formerly Sandra Korn.
I'll never know her as Sandra Taylor. She's Sandy Korn.
I saw her on the Tonight Show. After she was on our show, Jay Leno
immediately booked
her because she was real good here. And she came on. She wasn't wearing anything good on the Tonight Show. As a matter of fact, the only reason I got to see the Tonight Show was because of Ralph Cirilla. Ganji, who's supposed to tape the Tonight Show for me every night, leaves my machine on. Again, screwed up. I went to check the machine. The tape was not rewound. He missed the entire Tonight Show.
Let me say something here, because this now sounds like he's supposed to tape the Tonight Show and David Letterman every night.
Right.
Just in case you might want to look at something.
Right, and I've never wanted to look at it except for 3 times.
Every time now that you have actually wanted to look,
I've never had it.
That program.
Yeah. He's a total screw-up. Seriously.
He's amazing. I don't know how you can do that.
So
he
Ralph,
tapes every other night.
I went over and I said, ooh, because someone said to me, hey, Sandy Taylor was on the Tonight Show. I go, hey, I want to see how she looked. So I sit down. I have 2 tape recorders in my house that are just like set. He sets them every night. I go over to watch it. And the basketball game ran late, but I said no problem because he also leaves it running
a little
extra time. He missed both shows. He missed Letterman, he missed Leno because he didn't rewind the tapes. It was unbelievable. He didn't get any of it. Didn't matter that the basketball game was on. He missed that, and he missed everything.
He's amazing. I don't know.
He couldn't have gotten anything. Yeah, and it's like the 3 times that I've gone to watch the tape. Hey, Ganji, come in here. Let me ask you why you're so retarded. His whole job is to set the tape machine so that in case I need it. I've never watched those shows. I never get to watch it.
See, I don't know that he gets any show because you don't watch him every night. But he swears the only time he misses is those times you look.
I know. He says, I get him every other time.
Get them, I swear.
This is the 3rd time I went to watch the show and it wasn't there.
It wasn't there at all?
No. Oh, I got the first 5 minutes of the Tonight Show.
What happened was
the tape ran out.
But what happened? The tape
you didn't rewind the tape. Yeah, the tape ran out.
I don't know how that. I really don't.
What?
I don't know.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know.
You might as well not do it anymore. You know what? Don't do it anymore. I'll just rely on Ralph.
You know,
Ralph, come in here. I've got a job for you.
You see me all the time in there, changing those tapes. And
Ralph was sitting with me when I did it. What happened when I went to see the Tonight Show?
No show.
No show.
Did you look at the
Ralph
right
says
show?
to me, hey, I brought a tape over of the Tonight Show. You want to see Sandy Korn? Sandy Taylor, whatever her name is now. I said, yeah, let's watch it. He goes, I said, in fact, let me have it because, if they do something on me, we save it.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, well, your copy's probably better. It's probably better quality because I have crummy cable. So I said, yeah, let's watch my copy. Of course I have it. So I go over to my console.
Ganji tapes it every
yeah,
You're paying Ganji to do
I know. I pay him a lot of money to go do this for me. I mean, this is way too much money for a guy to just set your VCR for you for every night. So I go over in front of Ralph and I get it. And I go, okay, let's watch it. And all of a sudden it ends and it starts rewinding. So Ralph goes, well, where's the Tonight Show? I go, I don't know. I said, the idiot didn't rewind the tape. He goes, why don't you just let me do it for you?
I was like, no.
Then you don't have to pay Ganji.
It's got to be there.
Do you really know how those machines work, Ganji?
I said
you know what it is? He doesn't know what he's doing.
Every 2 days.
But you got to rewind the tape.
Oh, I put new tapes in every 2 days.
Maybe you should check it every day.
Yeah.
Because obviously that 2-day thing ain't working.
How has he got the tape on?
It's a 6-hour
slow
tape.
speed
Yeah,
or
6-hour
fast
tape. 6-hour tape.
What is it, Gary?
Why don't you tell him the real excuse you were saying?
No, the real excuse is that I'm working late every night.
Right.
I've been doing a million things.
I know you're working hard for me.
So maybe once in a blue moon I might forget that. I mean, I always try to.
It's just funny that the
so
3
in other
times
words, you
that would have been blue every night.
Yeah, but what about the other 2 times when you weren't working all the time?
I know I said it yesterday.
But of all your responsibilities, that's probably the easiest thing to do.
You go in there first thing and do it.
One wonders how you're messing up in other ways.
So, right, listen. Let's say I forget for 3 days, right?
Yeah, right.
Now, the show is only an hour for Leno and an hour for Cody.
Gange, listen to me. Listen to me.
Right.
What is your job? To tape the Letterman and Leno show every night.
Uh-huh.
How many times have I gone to watch it? 3.
A couple times, right.
The 3 times I went to watch it, I didn't have the tape. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I know it taped last night.
I don't want to see last night.
No, you do. Bradford was on Letterman.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it. See?
Did you know there's a basketball game on? I mean,
I don't know. I didn't.
But you should check that. You should maybe check that every day.
Ralph, do me a favor. Would you start taping for me?
I got a couple.
All right, thanks. All right, thanks, man.
I tend to forget that there's a basketball game.
You've got like the Batcave downstairs.
Yeah.
And you can't get a show.
I can't get it taped. It's just too much for Ganji.
You have to have backup for Ganji.
Now I'm talking to a guy about buying new equipment for Ganji to work, so that he can't possibly miss taping these 2 shows. It's going to run me about $15,000, but I'm going to do it just so he can tape. Just so he can't screw up.
That's my sweat.
Good move, man. Yeah, I'm going to get voice-operated machines. Tape now. Tape off. Tape on. Tape missed the show again. Tape missed the
Yeah, but if he doesn't change this, will the machine say we need a new tape?
I don't know.
But is that what happened? The basketball game screwed it up?
No, because the tape was out already. It didn't matter that the basketball game was out.
For 3 days, I didn't change it.
I don't know what you did. I don't know. I don't know.
I will go today and I will check.
Anyway, if you saw Sandy Taylor on the Tonight Show, she looked that great.
She looked good.
She looked okay.
She looked like
she wore stockings.
She looked like classy.
Yeah. Anyway, tune in tonight because all she's wearing is a serape.
Oh, she looked.
What would you call that? What she wore? She wore like a.
I don't even remember what she had on.
She had like.
It was barely a dress.
I think she had like a bathing suit underneath, and she just like wrapped a towel around herself.
Yeah, it was like a towel.
Great.
I don't remember what she was wearing.
Feel the sexual excitement as I interview the voluptuous Sandra Taylor with my pants off, by the way. My pants are completely off.
You took your pants off.
Yeah. Don't miss the show tonight. Part 1. It's a 2-parter.
Always with the girls.
With the girls.
Two-parters.
You'll never forget William Shatner comes in, and it's a lot of fun in Part 2.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. All right, thank you, Ganji. Give me a tape of that. Thanks, Ralph.
Tape that Tonight Show, Ganji.
Yeah, you can goof on Ralph all you want, but the dude can tape.
He might not know what to do with his hair.
But he knows how to
Work
tape.
a VCR.
You're damn right. I read in the Inquirer that from Mike Walker's column, the great Mike Walker, who we have on the show, who we're afraid to say anything bad about because he would just print bad stuff about us. He says, my spies were shocked when TV comic Ellen DeGeneres, that's Vageinfeld. I tried to watch that show the other night because, people said it's funny. It's unwatchable. She's annoying.
I don't think it's supposed to be funny. Is it supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
I don't laugh.
Isn't that a situation comedy? Anyway, Vageinfeld showed up at Melissa Etheridge's birthday party with a brown-haired beauty named Teresa, and the pair were seen openly kissing and cuddling.
No.
Well, if she's gay, why doesn't she just come out and say it instead of pretending to be into guys? Is that what he's saying here? That she's gay?
It sounds it. I mean, what do you call a person who kisses and cuddles with another woman?
Well, he didn't say it's a woman. He said a brown-haired beauty named Teresa. Maybe it's a guy.
Teresa the guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know any guys named Teresa.
Vaginefeld. Ellen DeGeneres. I think someone once had accused her of being gay, I read somewhere.
And she said she was into guys.
Because she didn't want anyone to know. I don't know.
You know, I know that she's been showing up at certain things with male accompaniment. And I had heard that, you know, there were stories at the beginning of the show that ABC or whatever station it's on, network it's on, was telling her, you know, to clean up her image, stop hanging around at gay bars and stuff. You know, I heard that. I don't know if she did.
Right.
But that's what, you know, she used to hang around at gay bars.
Vaginefeld.
According to the tabloids.
You know, it's kind of bad, though, to be sort of... I know what she means. Like, you don't want to be pointed out as a lesbian, because I tuned in that show. I'm watching it, and, like, she's carrying on with all these guys, and then there's a whole bunch of girls in the scene. I'm going, well, she must be watching all the girls, not the guys.
Well, yeah, you know, they're always trying to show how, you know, she's looking for a date. She's trying to get it on with some guy.
Ellen DeGeneres.
But, you know, I guess those bonds, you know, it's hard to suppress that desire if you have it. So she finally fell off the wagon.
Yeah. Well, you probably figure you're safe kissing girls at Melissa Etheridge's house. Who's going to tell you? And you figure it's a tight little society.
But you never know. People like to gossip.
The world used to be so much nicer. I mean, Rock Hudson was all over town with boys. And he could go, you know...
And having those parties?
He had parties with, like naked statues of men peeing into a fountain.
Yeah, all the decor was gay.
Yeah, you could, I mean... Now moles are everywhere. Rock Hudson, his whole house was gay. He had a gay house. And reporters would come in, and they'd see this gay house, and they'd say, well, Mr. Hudson, we're going to have to report that this is a gay house. He'd go, oh, don't do that. And they go, oh, okay.
And he was at the gay bars and stuff like that. Nobody ever said anything.
Right. Ellen DeGeneres just kisses one girl at one party, according to Mike Walker. This Teresa, and it's all over. It happens. You know, she's called into Warren Littlefield's office.
Well, maybe it's because she's been denying it. I don't know. Yeah, I know that Keanu Reeves was on the cover of one of these gay magazines in the last couple of weeks, denying that he's gay, too. Yeah. Now, I don't know why you go into the press to deny you're gay.
Yeah.
You know, he's declaring that he loves women.
Well, Tom Cruise's wife, Nicole Kidman, is in one of these magazines denying that he's gay.
Oh, she's everywhere denying.
Yeah, she's denying everything. I could give a rat's ass who's gay. I got my own problems. One of them isn't being gay. I'm never accused of being gay. No gay guys even try to hit on me.
You know, but Nicole Kidman did the worst thing. She said, I'll bet you all my money and all his money.
Yeah.
Don't bet reporters that kind of stuff.
Because they'll take your money. By the way, just so you know, our own Fred Norris's wife just called in to say that he's no homo. She wants a little attention, too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You know, in Nicole Kidman's defense, the wife is usually the last to know.
Yeah.
So don't hit her too hard.
Yeah, don't take all her money.
True. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be great if we could, we'll have Fred seduce Tom Cruise and we could get all his money?
Left you in Top Gun.
So, I just got a fax, but I can't prove any of it.
What?
We're writing from L.A., and today, while on the lot at Universal, where Eddie is filming The Nutty Professor, we heard Eddie saying all kinds of S about Howard.
Oh, yeah?
That's what they said. But this could be fake.
What did he say?
He and director Tom Shadyac, I know Tom, held up production repeatedly to bitch about Howard's interview with Martin. You know that guy Martin?
Yeah, Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, Martin Lawrence, Selena, and the pay-per-view from New Year's. So they were bad-mouthing me about Martin, Selena, and the pay-per-view from New Year's.
Jeez, are they out of conversation?
There's a lot more to the story, and it's worth hearing, like when Eddie and his brother was in the elevator with Howard 10 years ago in Florida, and somebody kicked Howard's ass. Huh? See, no one kicked my ass.
You were in an elevator with him?
I haven't been in Florida. I haven't been with Eddie's brother, and I didn't get my ass kicked. And then he says, I think I heard Tom Shadyac say he turned down directing Private Parts. Well, if he did, I sure don't know about it.
Did you offer that to him?
No, as a matter of fact, Tom's a very big fan of the show, Tom Shadyac, who directed Ace Ventura. And his name was brought up about directing Private Parts, a year ago, but I said it was way too premature to discuss it with anyone. We don't have a script. And quite frankly, while I'm a big fan of Ace Ventura, I don't know that he would be right for my... I don't know if he'd be right for my film.
Yeah.
So if anybody did any rejecting, it was me. Let's face it.
Oh, man. But, Martin was on a while ago.
Yeah.
The Selena thing was a couple of months ago, and the pay-per-view special was over a year ago.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy says we could call him and find out more. Here?
The senator's here.
Oh, he is.
They're on a bit of a tight schedule.
Oh, all right.
But maybe we can call him after the senator.
Yeah, okay. Well, why don't I take a break? Because I got to do some commercials.
Okay.
And then I'll prepare myself for Senator Arlen Specter, who I'm very impressed with, and I'd like to see win the presidential nomination.
Are we the only ones paying attention to him?
Yeah. He's also here with General Counsel Klugheit. General Klugheit is a very big man in politics, I found out.
Klugheit?
Yeah, General Klugheit.
General?
Yeah, he's the general.
Of what?
The General Counsel. General Klugheit. So Senator Arlen Specter and General Klugheit will be in here.
I always like to meet a general.
I'll tell you why I like Senator Specter for president and also as the nominee for the Republican Party, and I'll tell you why he's the only logical choice. If you give me 5 minutes, I would like to tell you that.
Well, why don't we take a break and
then
give us that
right.
explanation? Everybody get ready for a very serious political discussion here.
No, it won't be serious. The senator will have to answer how many times a week he gets laid.
Oh.
I mean, let's face it. This is
that pertinent to whether he can be a good president or not?
No, I am not.
What would you say? A good president is still having sex?
By the way, you want to know something about Senator Arlen Specter? He has had sex with the same woman for the past, 40 years. Something like that.
That's pretty admirable.
He doesn't cheat on his wife or anything. I mean, for people who are into a whole morality rap.
And they're still having sex after 40 years.
Yeah, but in all fairness, his wife looks like Pamela Anderson.
Oh.
I mean, she's hot as a pistol. No, I will not ask sexual questions of the senator because I don't want to blow our one connection.
I just meant in general. Do you think that the president should be sexually active or not? Would you prefer a president who was not sexually active?
I would prefer a president who was sexually active.
I see. Okay.
Wouldn't you say that the bulk of our presidents probably haven't been?
No, in fact, Nixon didn't even sleep with his wife.
Right. And Reagan probably didn't.
You think that, Bush and Barbara did sleep in the same room, they said.
I don't believe that.
Everyone.
There's no way Bush was attracted to Barbara.
And there were a lot of rumors about Bush.
Hey, Barbara's a lovely woman. I'm not saying anything bad. Well, we'll ask the senator. He'll know. He knows all these guys. He knows who sleeps with who. Believe me, he's got General Klugheit is the guy who finds out all this stuff. So we're going to find out everything right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle.
7:19 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 7:24 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard, Harley, and Fuel Clock. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back with the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
I will now do an analysis of the presidential climate with Senator Arlen Specter. Gary, bring in the senator and bring in General Klugheit.
I noticed you changed glasses.
Yeah, for the senator. I wanted to look cool. I put on my shades. I always think it's funny when I look like a derelict. I get to interview
someone so high up in government.
Here's the guy I'm backing. I'll tell you why. Senator, what? Oh, the presidential music is playing in the background. I don't know if the senator can hear it. Hey, quick, put on your headphones, Senator. Listen to this. You're going to love it. How you doing? Put on those headphones. You'll hear your music in the background.
It's about to disappear.
He's a real politician.
Saying hello. He loves to shake hands.
Politicians, you know why he's a real politician? Because he shook Fred's hand. You're the only one. Wait, let your song finish.
Here's a man who's after votes.
Here's a man who wants to win. I need a guy who wants to win. First of all, let me tell you something.
That's the most marvelous introduction I've ever
Wasn't that great, Senator?
I've had a few. That's the first time that's ever happened. I'll try to make it a practice.
By the way, it's very impressive when you walk in with the general.
Yes, General
Klugheit
taking his seat.
Very impressive. Anyway, let me tell you something. First of all,
his son Ricky is in seventh heaven right now.
Is that right?
And his wife Marianne is not too unhappy either.
Tell you why I like you. Number one reason I like you as president is that when I said, I was kidding around, I said your wife looks like Pamela Anderson. You didn't know who Pamela Anderson was. I'll tell you why I like that.
You're busy.
Yeah, this is a no-nonsense president.
How did you find out? Is that room bugged?
Yeah, it's bugged. Everyone, don't say anything in there you don't want on the air. But the reason I like that is, if you go back to Jimmy Carter, He was so busy with these nonsense shows. You know, he watched Hee Haw? Any president.
And Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard, this man watched. Then you have Clinton, who is watching, God knows what he's watching. He watches everything. He knows Arsenio Hall. He's up, he's playing saxophone. I don't need a president who's watching Baywatch. You shouldn't know who Pamela Anderson is. I like that. That's
what would you say you do watch on TV, just so we can check you?
Senator, if we may ask.
C-SPAN.
Yeah.
There you go. The baseball games, the football games when I can't get to them. I watch the news.
Nothing wrong with that.
I watch CNN a lot.
No favorite shows?
Well, AMC, American Movie Channel, is my favorite. They have the
old movies.
The old-time movies.
Yes, good. That's what I want to hear.
That's what I watch.
No nonsense. All boring stuff.
No nanny.
Yeah, you don't watch The Nanny, do you? You wouldn't even know who that is.
That happens to be correct.
Yeah. If I was to say to you Melrose Place, you'd say, oh, isn't that in California somewhere, right?
It's a diner in Philadelphia.
Exactly. There you go.
I just got a free breakfast.
Well, let me ask you something else then. If, at crucial times during the election, they always compare who has what celebrities behind them.
Well,
You're not going to have any.
You can put me behind you.
Howard Stern.
Yeah.
You just left out the number one.
Hey, I was good enough for Governor Whitman. I was the only one backing her. Right? And Pataki, too.
Well, I don't know.
Who else was backing Pataki beside me?
Well, these aren't national figures.
Oh, I see.
I'm talking about at the presidential level.
By the way, let me ask the general. General Klugheit, are you comfortable among those puppets back there? Is that okay? You don't mind? I don't want...
I feel like I'm sitting in a very appropriate place.
Yes.
At the last election, it was Bush and Clinton. Clinton had Barbara Streisand.
Yes.
And Bush had Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm just wondering who Senator Specter's going to have.
He can count on me. That's it. That's all you need, believe me, in your corner.
If he doesn't even know who's in what.
Let me tell you something. Celebrity endorsements, per se, never get anybody elected.
That's true.
They don't. People do not vote along the celebrity line, if you know what I mean. I've done studies of this. But let me tell you my assessment now that we're further along than the first time we met. First of all, Clinton is in very good shape right now, believe it or not, because it looks like the front runner for the Republican nomination is Bush.
No, Dole.
I mean, Dole. You know why I called him Bush? You know why I do that for him? I see them identical. I see Bush, and Bush ran out of steam when he became president. He ran out of energy. He was too old. He was too tired to run the office. He had no excitement. There was no joy behind his running the office. He was really reacting, not sitting and taking a leadership role. And it's the same with Dole. In all fairness, I got nothing against the elderly. Well, maybe a few things. Because they glom off the Medicare. It's unbelievable, and you know what I'm talking about. They glom it. In this country, you see something for free, people just take advantage of it. You know the old people go to the doctor just to go to the doctor? They just go to the doctor. They go because it's free. It's not free. Someone's got to pay for this, Senator. Someone has to pay for it. What do you think? It's free? It's not really free. It was set up for a good intention.
I think some of the people go to the doctor because they need a doctor.
Yeah, okay. Granted, some people need a doctor. But the majority of these old people are looking to visit someone. If it wasn't free for them, they would never go to the doctor. I'm telling you.
They try some home remedies first.
The reason Medicare was set up, as you know, Senator, was to protect young families who had an elderly parent, and they would go bankrupt trying to pay for their medical bills. There was a good cause there. There was a good reason. But like everything that's set up for a good reason, the system is abused. But let me tell you why Clinton's in good shape. Clinton's in good shape. You got to remember something. Clinton did not win the election. Believe it or not. He did not. He won the election, but he did not win a majority of the vote.
No, he did not.
If this third-party candidate, what was his name?
Ross Perot.
Ross Perot. If Ross Perot... Boy, you really are on top of things, Senator.
Well, I watched C-SPAN. I told you that.
If Ross Perot had not run, Bush would have been the president.
Well,
it's simple. Clinton did not get a majority of the votes.
I think President Bush relied on his enormous popularity after the Gulf War.
Right.
And I don't think you can you can't play defense in anything, including public life and politics.
That's true.
He was relying on his 91% rating, and he didn't do the kinds of activist things that a president needs to do, like health care, like the economy, like really digging in. And I saw it up close.
Right. And Clinton is in good shape because if he runs against Dole, this bowing to the religious right will scare away the majority of Americans. And what Senator Specter has said all along, I don't want to get involved in this abortion issue. I want to come out and say that I am for abortion. I'm not going to bow to the religious right.
I'm not for abortion. I'm against the government telling people what to do about abortion.
Right. Me, I'm for abortion. I wish more people would get abortion.
He's very pro-abortion.
I'm very pro-abortion. Too many unwanted. Senator, too many unwanted children.
You and I finally found a difference.
Yes, it's true.
I'm not pro-abortion.
It's sad whenever you have to go through that, but you know that the government can't get involved in this choice.
And what about this stand that Dole has taken on the movie?
Oh, it is such nonsense. It is, Senator, is it nonsense?
Well, I think that Senator Dole needed to start out by saying that he had no intention of censorship and the government had no role. He should have made that plain, because every time a public official takes a stand, there is the chilling effect of the potentiality for censorship. But,
right.
Howard, after saying that, I think he's got a right to express his opinion like anybody else.
Yes.
He ought to do it in a context that he's not suggesting censorship and he's not suggesting using his position to stifle freedom of speech.
Because it certainly implies that he's looking for censorship. I mean, the implication is there that he doesn't like what's going on and that there should be more censorship. And quite frankly, it's an empty issue. We have so many problems that need to be solved.
Yeah, I mean, really, are the movies causing us problems on our city streets?
There were always violent movies. My father grew up with violent movies. He was raised in a family environment that was very strong. He didn't go out and become a murderer because of movies. It just doesn't work that way. It's not that simple. I wish the answer was that simple.
And in every generation, in every time in history, the media has always been blamed. At one time, it was books that needed to be banned because they were inciting the young people to do something. So it's a ridiculous argument that we're still having.
But, Senator, aren't these simple? I mean, these are not the real issues. These are not the real issues.
Well, the critical issues facing our country today involve health care, where everybody is ignoring the problem because Clinton's massive plan was defeated last year.
Right.
Education is probably no issue is bigger than education, capital investment for the future.
Right.
I was reading David Halberstam's book on that subject, just a fascinating expose.
See, I like that you read books and you don't watch Baywatch. I like it.
Yeah, because Baywatch is taking care of nobody's
problem. No one.
And the biggest problems we face are the problems in the international field with weapons of mass destruction, nuclear weapons. We have a president today who is not attending to foreign policy, Howard, and that's the one function that is non-delegable. The president can say to the Secretary of Agriculture, take care of it. Secretary of Interior, take care of it. Only the president has the stature to get the president of France on the phone.
That's right.
The major in Britain, or the premier of China.
You have to be an innovator in that area. You have to be hands-on.
You got to be an innovator and you got to be a schmoozer.
Right. Let me say something, because this is a very important issue. When the breakup of the Soviet Union occurred, it really created more problems than it solved, because all of a sudden you have this huge government over there with no money and a bad economy, and one of the things you do in a situation like that is start to sell arms to unstable third world countries.
That's right, and you have all these rogue nations.
Yep.
Iran, Iraq, Libya, North Korea, and the only person who can handle that is the president, and the president has been inattentive to those duties.
Yeah, you're right, and I'll tell you something. Listen, just on basic politics, what I know could fill a thimble, but it seems to me that the Republicans have gone too far to the right with social issues, and you're the only Republican candidate who is willing to sort of back off that and just say, look, I don't want the government involved in all that nonsense. And here is, and you basically have a conservative attitude toward the economy. What's with the flat tax? You're into that now?
The flat tax, Howard, I think is the wave of the future.
See, I'm so into that. That's so simple.
For a couple of big reasons.
Yeah.
Let me start with the more complex reason for just a minute.
Okay.
And that is pro-growth. It is one thing to balance the budget, which you have to do to protect future generations. But the other side of the economic coin is pro-growth. And with Kemp out of the presidential race, I'm the only candidate who's talking pro-growth. The second factor, here's the tax return, Howard.
Yeah, that's it. Look at that.
Oh, I love that.
Look at that.
Give me that form. I'll fill it out right now.
There it is. The tax return is the size. It's almost 1 square inch.
The application for a driver's license is bigger.
Look at that. That would be it.
It's a postcard. You can fill it out in 15 minutes.
That's beautiful.
No more accountants. No more anything. You pay a flat tax.
That's all. I have retained 2 deductions as a matter of practicality for middle-income America. Interest on borrowings up to $100,000 on home mortgages.
Right.
Charitable contributions up to $2,500. And it is a 20% flat tax for both business and individuals. companies, businesses now will pay substantially more tax under this plan. This plan is a plan by Hall and Rabushka, professors from Stanford, and it has been the basis for legislation introduced in the House by Dick Armey, the House Majority Leader. And
I like it.
I'm the only guy who's taken it up in the Senate.
So as president, you'd be able to get that through, right?
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, that's it. Simple issues. Flat tax, plus this whole abortion nonsense. The issue should not be in the Republican plank. And I'll tell you something. Clinton will win if Dole is the nominee. I am telling you right now, he will win. The only one that could win against Clinton is Senator Specter. That's it.
Well, what is happening with your campaign?
Yeah, because what happened? Because didn't Governor Wilson drop out or something? What's his story?
Governor Wilson took a stand last week that he would not fight the anti-abortion plank in the platform.
So he might as well have dropped out.
Well, I think that's right, Howard. You said it. I'd confirm it.
So you're the only one now who's willing to fight that.
Only guy who's really pro-choice, willing to fight the fringe. And I think it is more than pro-choice. It is perhaps the most persuasive political figure in America today, and this is going to surprise you, is Ralph Reed Jr., who is articulate, who is smart, who will give two answers to the same question at different times with enormous sincerity.
Yeah.
And they want to impose their own social agenda on America.
Yeah.
They want to change the Constitution in two important respects. We've talked about the choice issue. They want to change First Amendment freedom of religion.
Yeah.
When I spoke a year ago at the Iowa Republican Convention, I expected to get opposition to my effort to take the anti-abortion plank out of the platform, but I was shocked when I was booed when I talked about the constitutional doctrine of separation of church and state.
And how could that be?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty shocking in America. Same thing happened to me in mid-May in Colorado, but they are a fringe. I can prove to you that they're about a 4 or 5% factor.
Of course.
And the point
So why do they have so
because
much
they're
clout
very
in the
vocal.
Republican Party?
They're very vocal, and no one except for me is willing to take them on.
I think if you surveyed people who consider themselves Republicans or leaning toward Republican, I bet you most of them are pro-choice, and most of them are against
71%.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And yet, all these guys, I mean, look
yeah,
what...
he's talking about that young-looking, that boyish-looking guy from the
yeah, I met him.
Right.
That's the guy I met.
Don't underestimate him.
I met him the other day. I was up at my publisher, and I guess she was talking to him, and we were introduced to one another. And he's got the real big smile, and he's charming and everything. And I just got sick to my stomach, man. I don't want anybody forcing their religion on me. I'm for religion. It's great.
You see, now you've put your finger on a very important point, Howard.
Yeah.
It is important, and I never make any aspersion or criticize the Christian right, the Christian coalition, or the religious right, because I know there's a very important place in public life for people with deep religious and moral convictions.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
I'm one of them.
Right.
But as soon as Ralph Reed Jr. came out with this new contract for the American family, which superficially looks great, but when you read the fine print, they want to change basic institutions on choice and on religion.
Yeah.
Many religious groups came out in opposition. The Methodists, the Baptists, many Protestant sects, Catholics, Jews, and even evangelical Christians came out and said, we do not want our religious views mixed up in politics. In Texas last year, a guy running for state chairman held up a big sign, a vote for our candidate is a vote for God.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
That's
it's offensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Offensive and sacrilegious.
So what's going to be? I mean, are you going up in the polls? Is anybody getting the message?
I am going up in the polls,
Howard.
That's good.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Oh, look at that standing ovation, Senator. Wow. Look at General Kluge. Look at the general. He loves it.
The CNN USA poll had us up. It's not a big number,
right?
But when you start at 0 and you move to 4 in the course of a couple of months,
because you were around 2 for a while.
I was at 2, then we went to 3. Now we're at 4.
Excellent.
Well, that's the right direction.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. And bear in mind that I've now passed Lamar Alexander, who's at 2.
Right.
And my colleague Dick Lugar is at 2.
Right.
And Dornan is at 1.
Right.
Dornan and Keyes, I don't think registers. So I'm moving up.
Wow, that's good. Congratulations on that. And by the way, hey, let me thank the senator publicly for looking into the FCC issue. And the senator's position is clear. He's not saying whether I'm right or wrong about whether I'm indecent or obscene. Can I say this? Let me just paraphrase or make it simple. The FCC has gone after me for years now, and all our position ever was in this whole thing was, well, let the courts decide if I am indecent or obscene. By the way, I believe the FCC even knows that I'm not indecent or obscene. Anybody who's read the transcripts of this show knows that I am not indecent or obscene. I've never dealt in obscenity. Yes, we've talked about sex, but I defy you to tell me what show. I'm watching Entertainment Tonight last night. They're having thong wars. They're having bikini girls. I mean, that's about as far as we've gone. But for some reason, I've been targeted. So I said to the FCC, I don't want to pay fines. This company doesn't want to pay fines. We don't feel we've done anything wrong. Can we please go to court? The FCC has refused to take the issue to court, and they refused to actually go any further with any of this. They've just tried to hold up this company from doing business. Right,
administratively, they've gone to war with this company.
So the senator did look into it, as many senators have. Senator Specter's not the only senator to look into it. And the FCC says what?
The FCC said that they're awaiting another court decision. Look, Howard, I think you're entitled to have the conduct judicially determined. You're entitled to have a judicial review.
Yes.
When I took a look, you mentioned this to me when I was on your show before, and I checked into it, and I found that they had brought many complaints against your company on the issue of license renewal.
Yes.
And I checked further and found that your company is a constituent of mine. Not that it had to be. I'm a United States Senator.
Right.
So that I have standing for all the people of this country, as well as for my constituents in Pennsylvania. But your company does have 2 licenses in Pennsylvania. You are being broadcast as we speak on Philadelphia.
Right.
And I found out that they had brought these complaints against you, but they had never taken the steps which would enable you to get a judicial determination.
Right.
And you are entitled to that. You are correct, Howard. I did not say whether you were right or wrong, but I said you were entitled to the due process of law.
So what is it? Is it a shakedown? Is it a phony baloney scam?
Why is there a federal agency that is basically in rebellion? They're not following through. They want to issue fines, but they don't then want to take it as far as court.
You find that in a lot of federal agencies, and that's why we're trying to simplify the bureaucracy, because people get into the bureaucracy and they love the red tape, and there's a lot of power that they can hold over you, but ultimately these decisions under our system are supposed to be made by judges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't it kind of fun for a bureaucrat who never has his name mentioned in the newspaper to suddenly be able to bat Howard Stern around, who's a high-profile guy, and, hey, man, I'm going to show him, and I'm the guy in charge now. Bureaucrats who have behaved in a nameless, faceless, do-nothing way their entire careers, suddenly they have power?
Well,
is that what it's about?
That's a big part of what's wrong with America today.
Yeah.
We ought to simplify government. This government was founded on freedom. The least government is the best government.
Right.
That's the basic approach.
Right.
That's why when I say I'm a fiscal economic conservative but a social libertarian, I want the government to be the smallest possible, consistent with its fundamental responsibilities.
That's what I am. I'm an economic conservative and a social libertarian. That's exactly what I am. Damn it.
Now, don't forget that, Howard, when you talk
Easy,
about
General. Sit down. He gets nervous when I raise my voice. He stands up. He's saluting me. General Kluge. Who is the general again? He's your general counsel, right?
He's one of the best lawyers in America.
Look at him.
Howard. I persuaded him. We used to be partners together at Deckard Price and Rhodes in Philadelphia.
Hey, General, if the senator becomes president, where does that leave you? What are you going to ask for? Come on, man.
What's chief of staff?
What do you want to be, chief of staff? Look at the fantasy going on. Look at it. Go ahead. What are you going to be?
No, the problem is there's a long answer to this question, which I know with the way the show works, I would never get out in its entirety.
But Senator, I don't want to be anything. It's okay. I just want to see you become the president. It's fine. I'm not looking for anything. Department of Transportation. I can do that. All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Howard, what would you think of chairman of FCC?
Oh, you know what? Let me tell you something, Senator. Senator.
Boy.
Imagine making me the head of the FCC.
I don't think that would be a wise idea.
Well, no, why? Wait a second.
Quite frankly,
they've made a mockery of me.
If
Senator.
the institution is as it remains, I don't know how you wouldn't have the desire to get back at all the people.
Bear in mind, it wasn't an offer; it was just a question.
Oh, okay.
I see. Yeah, it was a statement.
We're
That was a
talking
question.
about it like it's a foregone conclusion.
You're smart. You can't promise any office. Give me a wink if you want me to be the head of the FCC. Let me tell you something.
I don't know.
General Klugheit just gave me the wink.
All right.
General, what do you see for yourself? What would you like to be? Let's fantasize. Let's have some fun. We've talked about some serious issues here today. Let's have some fun. Let's say the senator becomes president. Now you're General Klugheit, the man who has been there.
You're General Counsel.
You're the General Counsel. What are you going to be doing? Let me hear this.
Well, my son told me that what I really ought to be is Secretary of Defense so that we could have a tank drive up to our backyard anytime I wanted.
No, you should be King of Staff. They should make a whole thing. You know, it'd be funny if the senator dumped you. Dave became president. That's always funny. I love that.
Emperor of the Oval Office.
The Emperor of Oval Office. But you're not going to be like that guy in the movie Dave who runs around into the senator's desk and starts signing all the bills and everything, trying to, take over.
Like you're the president.
Yeah, you're not going to act like the president, are you? Just remember, General, you're not the president.
I don't think there's much chance of that happening.
Right. You've got to be careful of Emperor Klugheit staging a coup in the White House. I don't know. Very, very nerve-wracking. But I like where you're going with this. I mean, listen. You're out there. You're giving the same consistent message. I saw you on CNN the other day being interviewed. It was very good. They tried to rattle you a little bit. You just kept going and going and going. I don't know. It seems to me the logical choice. There is nobody else who's electable. Clinton will win over this abortion issue. He will win.
Why is it that are you having trouble getting your message out? Are you having trouble?
As a matter of fact, I am.
What is that all about?
One of the reasons...
I blame General Klugheit.
One of the reasons is that I'm very specific when I talk about the fringe. And I'm very careful when I don't criticize people with deep religious and moral convictions. And I identify the fringe specifically as Pat Buchanan, Pat Robertson, and Ralph Reed Jr.
Yep.
Now, they will not appear with me jointly. And I said this. I haven't wanted to make a big issue or complain about it, but I said this on CNN Inside Politics last week.
Right.
When Buchanan took out after me and Judy Woodruff had relayed, and I said, well, I wish he'd say that to me directly.
Right.
Because he won't appear with me. And Ralph Reed Jr. won't appear. We were on Good Morning
They're trying to make you look like you're not a Republican because you don't believe in taking away choice from people.
They're trying to downplay my message because they're afraid of the comparison of my message to their message. And I was on Good Morning America the other day, and Ralph Reed Jr. refused to go on. And then after the show was over, Charlie Gibson says, well, thank you for being on. And I was on the same vocal line with Reed, and I said, how come it is you won't appear jointly with me? And he said, anytime, any place, Senator.
Right, but he won't.
So then Charlie said, well, how about our program? Well, it must have been a staff error, he said.
A staff error. Certainly he has a staff.
And getting the message out is very important, and that's why I really appreciate a chance to be on your show.
Well, thank you for coming in.
You reach a tremendous audience.
Well, I like you.
And I'm just delighted to be here. I was on Bob Grant yesterday afternoon, if I may mention.
Yeah, you can mention him.
Okay.
Even though he lives to be me. Go ahead, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I need to do is get my message out, and I think it is a winner.
Well, feel free to come on here again.
General Klugheit.
Yeah, General Klugheit. We're going to have to take this up with you.
Is that you do pay more attention to radio.
Yes, General.
So that you can...
in general.
Speak to as many people as possible.
The General pays too much attention to radio. That's the problem.
That right?
Yes.
But I really mean all across the country.
Yeah, it is.
If you're having trouble getting on these national television programs, then speak to local markets individually.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you guys on. Actually, the General, thank you so much for coming here. And, Senator, thank you for coming on here. We're behind you. I really mean it. I'm not kidding.
Well, I'm delighted, Howard.
You know,
thank you.
I'm here to say I'm no kook.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
There's an endorsement.
There you go. And I just want to say that what your message is, it's clean, it's clear, it's simple. I like it.
I certainly think that, as I've seen this debate in the press between Clinton and Bush over who has been more upfront about the entertainment industry, you're really addressing issues.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about entertainment industry. That's the least of our problems. But
Howard, you did
yes,
notice the button I wore when I
yes, you wore the Howard Stern for Governor button. Yes, that would have been great. You as the president, me as governor of New York.
Howard, you know how I got this button?
How'd you get that?
I was met outside by Melrose.
No. We were trying to keep him away from
you. Met Melrose Larry Green?
Well, the reason I mentioned it, Howard, because there may be a conflict that you and I have.
Yes.
I hadn't known Melrose Larry Green before he was out there, and he said, Arlen Specter, I'm for you for president. And, you know, at the same time, he had a big sign, Howard Stern for president.
Yes.
And I said, what's going on? If you're for me for president, what have you got this Howard Stern for president sign? He said he's going to change it, Howard.
Is that right?
That's what he said.
Well, I have no objection to that. I have absolutely no objection. I'm not running this year.
Now, what about the primaries as well? Now, are you going to be in these early
going to be in the New Hampshire primary.
Good.
We're going to be in the New York primary. They say we have a...
I wish I was on in New Hampshire. I could put you right over the top. Unfortunately, this show is not on in New Hampshire. It's the one show that's not on in New Hampshire. But I'm on in Boston. Boston gets into New Hampshire.
Boston gets into there.
Yeah. It covers a big part of southern New Hampshire.
Here, hold on, let me take care of this. What's the matter with you stupid skeeves? You're going to sit and vote in... let me talk to people the way I do. You're not going to understand this language. You're much too polite. What's the matter with you stupid skeeves, you hillbillies? You hear what the man's saying? You understand that Dole can't do...
Earwags out of your
How old is Dole? How old is that guy?
71?
Yeah, between you and me.
Bob was born July 22nd, 1923.
I'm going to make age an issue. I'm sorry. I know you haven't. I am making age an issue. I know guys 71 years old. I've yet to meet a guy who was 71 that didn't want to play golf all day. He's going to end up being just like Bush, out on that Camp David. You ever see Camp David? You ever been up there?
Never have.
Let me tell you something. When you see... It ruins president. You must blow up Camp David if you become president.
That must be someplace.
That must... They won't show it to the American people. You know why? It's so palatial. The American people would revolt. There would be a huge revolution in this country. People would be running through the streets if they ever showed Camp David. Eisenhower set it up so he could golf. Bush was up there. He got so into it. He was either at that Kenny Bunkport vacation, working vacation they call it, or he was up. One thing I'll say about Clinton, at least he's not on vacation. At least he's working. He's working.
He tried, but he had allergies, I think.
If you let this guy Dole be the president, listen to me, this is directed to the people of New Hampshire. This guy's going to be at the vacation home, the retirement home, every weekend. He's an old man. I got nothing against the elderly. But a guy that age wants to be playing golf. Am I right, Senator?
No,
be honest.
You're not right. You're not right.
Oh, I am, Senator. Senator, I'm telling you. But you can wink at me.
He's a hard worker, now.
No, he's a hard worker, but...
Howard, I don't know if you know this, but...
the guy's not motivated.
Bob Dole and I come from the same little town in Kansas.
Yes.
I was born in Wichita.
Yeah, and you were born a lot later than he was. There's a key there. You still have...
I'm not going to dispute that with you.
Right.
I moved to Russell, Kansas, where his hometown when I was 12.
Yes. And he was, what, 47?
Our age differential was a lot bigger when I was 12.
Right.
You're kidding.
Right, he was already married with children.
But he's a very vigorous guy. He is not a golfer. He's
For
a hard worker.
a 71-year-old guy, he's very vigorous.
And compared to Clinton, he's aces.
Okay, but listen to me. And you know this, and you can wink. You don't have to agree with me verbally. But this is a guy who babysat your father. Am I correct? Is that true?
Nope.
No. And let me say something. That
Our brothers were good friends.
Yes. You got to understand. The general, General, you can agree with me. The senator can't. That age is a factor. My dad is 71 years old, and you can't get this guy out of the house. He sits there, and I said, Dad, you want to go back to work? No, I'm done with work. This is the attitude. He sits there like a lummox. My mother can't even get him out of the house. And it's true of all these 71-year-olds.
Well,
yes,
I wouldn't say
that. Like my father goes out on Wednesday night for square dancing. And that's a big effort. That's like, to get out of the house. This is what happens. Your body slows down. Even I know. I'm 41 years old now. I move like a 60-year-old. You cannot take a 71-year-old. You're talking about the election being, what is it, 2 years away? Yeah.
Yep,
He'll be 74 by then.
73.
Do you know, he'll be 74. Trust me. I'm telling you you can't. By the time he's in office, he'll be 75, 76. You talk about a guy it could be the end. Your energy's drained. You are not as motivated. The presidency will wear off on him in a week.
He's got a lot of energy, Howard. But I
vote for Senator Specter. Trust me on this. Listen.
You were talking to New Hampshire. Did you finish?
Listen, you skibozes. Talking Italian now. Listen, skibozes. He's a kiss me and touch us around. You understand what I'm saying? You must vote for Senator Specter. Not for Dole, or else we're doomed. Do you understand? All right. I'll talk to them when you're not in the room. It could be embarrassing for you. Get the maple syrup out of your ears.
Making a great statement.
Is that the state with the maple syrup? Or is that Vermont?
That's Vermont.
Well, get the maple syrup out of your ears, you friggin' lumberjack. You listen to me. This is the man.
They're a great state, Howard.
Right.
They have as their motto, live free for die.
That's your motto.
It is my motto. That's the libertarian motto.
Yes.
And when I was up in New Hampshire, I got a lot of applause on my pro-choice, keep the government off our backs, out of our pocketbooks, and out of our bedrooms.
I think you might be a big surprise in New Hampshire. I think that you might come on very strong.
I've got a great organization up there. A young man named Michael Johnson, who's the prosecuting attorney in Merrimack County, where Concord, the capital, is located. Great state organization. And we can surprise a lot of people. One thing we've done so far, Howard.
You could win.
We've done an extraordinary job of maintaining low expectations.
Right. No, that's good. But that's okay. That's not bad. What's the population of New Hampshire? 80 or 90 people? All you got to do is get to those 80 or 90 people. There can't be more than 80 or 90 voters in that whole state.
Yeah, it's a million, Howard.
Really?
It's a very impressive state.
Well, a lot of them better wake up. All right. Senator Specter, the great Senator Arlen Specter from Pennsylvania,
It's really nice to see him here again.
It's good to see him again. Every time I see him, I say, gee, I wonder if this is the last time I'll see him.
That's what I always
You never know. You know, we have friends that come and go, but and I want to thank General Klugheit, who is, I guess you could consider your right-hand man. Is that correct?
My right-hand man.
That's right. Thank you, General. Always good to see you.
My pleasure.
And thank you, Senator. And we'll be back after these words.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle.
7:57 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 8:01 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard Stern all morning. Pure rock all day. Yeah. 97.1 The Eagle.
Well, all right.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Yeah. That was pretty cool having a senator on, especially one that cares about our FCC issue. Clinton kind of ignored me on that, but hey, what are you going to do? I was talking to my dad about it. I said, Clinton really ignored me on that FCC issue. He could have made that whole thing go away. He says, how do you know he didn't? He says, they haven't bothered you in a while. I go, sure they have. You just don't know about it. They haven't removed anything. They haven't removed the all those fines and everything. They still have them on file. And they've done worse. They've tried to stop me from being syndicated. When we went to number one in Los Angeles, they hit me with more fines just to keep me from getting more syndication deals. I said, they've tried to ruin me. Clinton could have made it go away. He says, well, you see they haven't fined you in a while. I go, yeah, well, I don't know. I don't buy into that. I don't buy it at all. You buy that? I don't.
Quite frankly, was reading the
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
What'd you say?
Nothing. That's okay. I'm not repeating it. No, Jackie, seriously, do you buy that? Nope. I don't buy that at all. My father's logic is off. Right, Fred?
Absolutely. In this case, yes. One or two times.
Well, I take his side.
No. What are you reading about yourself?
No.
Hey, there's two sports items.
For another part of the show.
Okay, there's two sports items I would like to mention quickly, and that is Chicago Bulls star Scottie Pippen pleaded innocent in Waukegan, Illinois, to a misdemeanor of domestic battery involving his fiancée.
Yeah, I heard about him having a problem with that. I remember when he got charged.
Yeah, another great.
Innocent?
Yeah. He was arrested May 19th at his fiancée, Yvette Delone. He seized her by the arm and pushed her against a vehicle, police said. Well, these guys, man, just can't control themselves. Yeah. He's angry he's not in the playoffs.
You don't mess with a guy when he doesn't make it into the playoffs, Howard.
Also, former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Tim Barnett was convicted of second-degree sexual assault of a child for an incident last year in Milwaukee. Barnett was accused of grabbing a 14-year-old hotel maid and exposing himself on June 14th.
Now, when you say these guys, who are you talking about?
These so-called heroes, these sports figures.
I see.
Well, what do you think I meant?
Well, I don't know. I asked because I didn't know.
I see what you meant. You're going for the racial thing. All right. No, I wasn't thinking racially, but okay, if you want to look at it.
No.
If that's what you want.
You know what I say?
You think that'll help us get in the paper?
I don't jump to conclusions like most people. I ask if I don't understand something.
All right. Them. You know.
You know those people.
You know them. All right, let's take a few phone calls. Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, Howard.
This is New York, by the way. We're going to jump around the country. Hey, this is kind of...
that Hall Inspector?
Yeah?
I'm right with you on that. I think that guy's the only guy that makes sense, but that's his problem.
Yeah, well, no, he's good. He's got a good message. The problem is he's got to get it out there, and, he doesn't have a lot of money to get it out there. So I'm
what the
perfect.
problem is?
Yeah, and also, it was kind of funny. We were complimenting him on the flat tax idea. We thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then Robin was, like, screaming about taxes and how it has to be done right. All of a sudden, I guess Jackie said, yeah.
No, Gary came in.
Oh, what did he say?
He said it would be nice if you paid him every year, too.
Because Robin actually got into some trouble, I think, a couple of years ago, didn't you?
I didn't wait to get into trouble.
Right. She forgot to pay a few years.
I didn't pay for 3 years.
Yeah, well.
A couple of other items as soon as you finish that.
So then our inspector started to, he was getting into my argument. Then when he heard that, he was like, what am I doing here discussing politics with these idiots?
Yeah, he went and left. We were kind of making time with the guy, and he left.
Why do all these guys feel the need to bring up, like, other radio people's names when they come on your show?
Well,
I didn't really see a need for Bob Grant's name to be mentioned.
Yeah, I don't think he meant anything by it. I think what he was trying to say was that he's been doing these programs and stuff, but I don't know.
I don't find Bob Grant that entertaining. I've tried his show, and it's boring.
Well, the reason that all these guys are boring is that they're playing catch-up with me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the conservative talk show host thing. And Bob Grant's a phony. For years, he was like a liberal. He switched because the station came down on him, and he changed his whole attitude in his act.
Yeah, he makes it seem like an act. Yeah, it's not an act.
Yeah, he doesn't really believe what he says.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
And, he does his thing, but, he knows that if he comes up against me, I kick his ass. When we were on against each other in the afternoon, he had a 1, and I had like a 9 or something, and I kicked his ass, and he used to call me. Yeah, and he used to call me and say, you're kicking my ass, you're kicking my ass. And then...
those other guys in the afternoon, those other Howard Stern imitators, it's 2 guys. I don't even know their names.
There's tons of Howard Stern imitators all over the country.
They're all in New York now.
They're all over the place. That's why I am in the business of syndicating my show, so I can roust them out of their little holes. But this company that I work for, they're busy syndicating all my enemies. That's what they do to me.
Won't even mention that other a-hole's name.
Right. They're a cancer. Thank you. Yeah, but I kick all their asses, don't I? I still kick their asses. They haven't figured out how to kick my ass. Right?
By the way, what were you hinting at the other day with this CBS crap I heard?
I didn't hint at anything with CBS.
You sure did, you bastard.
Well, I didn't, you son of a bitch.
You two are in love.
Rob, help me.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What is he talking about?
Squirming off the hook.
What are you saying?
We were talking about that Fox thing.
Yeah, the Fox thing.
That Grease Man had floated in the press.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was just an article in the paper saying Fox was going to use Doug Tract for their Saturday night weapon against Saturday Night Live.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Let me stop for a minute. Can you imagine how embarrassed this guy Greaseman is? What he did was he got together with a publicist and he said, "Can you float my name as a guy who's going to be part of a Saturday Night Live?" And then it's found out the next day that he hasn't had discussions with anybody.
Fox doesn't even know him.
Fox never even heard of him. And it's this guy is such a loser. He's lost everywhere they put him. They took a show off in Los Angeles. They dropped him in Atlanta. This station, I don't know why they're holding on to him. He loses so much money for them. It's not even funny.
Did you hear the rumor that he was one of the Village People or something like that?
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
Don't even care.
Could care less.
He was the homo.
The point you were getting at, sir, though, is that Howard then said they had brilliant people working over at CBS.
They do.
Oh, they do.
They have a new crop of guys in there. This new guy, the new... Moonves. He's a brilliant guy.
What are we talking about, the 12:30 slot or the Saturday Night Live slot? What are we talking about?
I'm not talking about any slot. I'm just telling you that Moonves is a genius in programming, and there's very few of them. And the new president of CBS... What?
Some kind of special. You were hinting at some...
I'm not hinting. You know what? If you compliment someone, doesn't mean you have an ulterior motive.
Well, with you, it usually does.
I'm telling you that this guy Moonves is a very, very top-notch guy. And CBS is lucky to get him. That's all.
Question for Robin. Has anybody ever approached you for a talk show? I think you'd be perfect in one of these, like, off-the-wall shows, you know?
Think Robin
talk shows in the afternoon, one of the many.
I've been approached many times.
There you go.
Many times.
I'd like to see you fill one of those slots. You might be the only one I actually watch.
She has been asked by everybody. In fact, Moonves is meeting with her today. Moonves is as smart as Murdoch used to be. How's that? All right? Very good. Thank you. Bye-bye. I love you very much. And I'm talking to Moonbees right now for about a nice slot for Robin. Robin's going to have a real nice slot. You got a nice slot, Robin.
It's like Kathy Lee's empty living room.
Right.
Gaping hole.
Let's go to Miami.
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
All right. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, listen, I want to talk about Alan Spector.
Go ahead.
Arlen Spector?
Arnold Spector.
Arnold.
Well,
Arlen Spector.
Yeah, I think that he is a good candidate.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, listen, one of the reasons that he's good is because the issues in the past, namely our big adversary, the Soviet Union, no longer exists. That had no.
Who cares? Yeah. Orlando, you're on the...
Where does he think he is?
Can I speak to Mr. Zaremba?
Now we're back.
I got to give my wife in the bad place, and I need advice from Mr. Zaremba.
All right.
Mr. Zaremba.
That's from Orlando. New Orleans, you're on the air. New Orleans.
We have another call. Hello?
Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, Mother Angelica? Yeah, what can I do for you?
Do you agree with Howard Stern about Kathy Lee Gifford's baby being the incubus?
You want to repeat that?
I said, do you agree with Howard Stern about Kathy Lee Gifford's baby being the incubus?
Do you know what you're saying? Huh? You want to put it in my language, sweetheart?
Okay. Do you agree with Howard Stern about Kathy Lee Gifford's baby being the incubus?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Huh? Well, I'm going to move on because I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what you said. But anyway, we'll say a prayer for whatever you said. I just don't know what.
How can you say a prayer?
I didn't understand.
Well, this is the whole point.
But I can't answer you. But maybe you can write me a letter. Will you write me a letter and put the whole thing on paper?
Oh, yeah, I'll write you a letter.
Read it. Then we can give you an answer, okay?
Hello? Hello?
Richard?
Yes.
Hi, it's Kathy Lee. How are you?
Hi, Kathy Lee. How are you?
Oh, boy.
He's got tapes. He's got tapes of everybody.
But the point with that Mother Angelica is people are calling her for advice, and she can't even hear.
No.
She's so out of it. But they're listening to her when she gives them an answer. Pray, pray.
I like when he calls and he does stuff like that, and she figures out that it's a phony phone call, and all the audience is laughing, and then all of a sudden she starts yelling, and they all quiet down.
Quiet down. All of a sudden it's not funny.
Sister Angelica. She's got to be the scariest person on the planet.
Is it sister or mother they call her?
I don't know, mother.
How do you get to be mother? There's like Mother Teresa, Sister Angelica.
Yeah, that's the mother. That's the mother you want to run the hell out of the house. Hey, you're on the air in Los Angeles.
Howard, hey,
excuse me, yes?
What's your pen?
Hey, whatever happened to that lie detector test with Robin? Did she end up lying on anything?
Oh, she was in for teeth.
Oh, please, tell the truth.
Truth is that the results said that she was not in love with me.
She was in love with Gary or somebody, though, wasn't she?
She's in love with somebody. Thank you.
Herself.
Right.
They didn't ask me about myself.
Are you in love with yourself?
Take it easy.
She's in love with Melrose Larry Green. All right, Myrtle Beach, then I got to take a break.
All right. Hey, Howard.
Hey, by the way, David Brenner's going to stop by and answer the question, how the hell did he have a kid?
Why?
Why?
See the shape his young lady is in 2 weeks after birth, too.
I wish he'd bring her in.
She was in this slinky, skin-tight dress the night I saw her, and she was like, yes, I just had a baby 2 weeks ago.
Well, I don't know what he's doing, but he'll tell us.
He must have been good in a past life.
Myrtle Beach, you're on the air.
Yes, Howard. Just like to compliment you on last Friday's show with Jim in Albany.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Just like Robin says, that is real life. I mean, that isn't planned or anything. It's
everyone said that they liked Friday's show with Jim, our producer in Albany, the guy who runs our show out of there. And
we almost gave him a nervous breakdown.
What happened? Did he resign?
Of course not.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going to resign? What's he going to go do?
Yeah, where's he going to go?
Yeah.
I don't know what you did, but you put a scare in the guy here. He's only said a word once.
Well, that's fine. In Myrtle Beach? Yeah, because we got to have order on the show. We can't have everybody doing Howard Stern on the show. It's these program directors do not, the thing I need them to do, they won't do. They only want to innovate. They want to sit and change our show around.
They always want to show you that what you do is not that hard.
I've never seen anything like it. We have a show that is completely packaged. I even put this guy, the deep voice announcer, so that the guy who runs the show will know when we're coming back to the show. It's a no-brainer. You put the show on the air and it gets ready. Here in New York, we've been #1 for years. We beat every station. Los Angeles, we're #1. We're #1 in Philadelphia. Yet these new program directors that I have are going to now somehow help me by changing and editing and cutting out the deep voice announcer.
And adding their own thing.
Yeah, because they figured out that that's going to put us over the top, that it doesn't fit in with the rest of their station. This whole show doesn't fit in with the rest of their station. The rest of the day they play music. In the morning we talk. Why would you change that aspect of the show? You know why? Because you're stupid. If you're a moron, you do things like that. If you're smart, you leave the show alone because you realize it is successful.
They're so upset that you get such good ratings, and then all of a sudden it just drops right off when they're there.
Why don't do the TV program directors, but do the owners of these stations, these TV stations, do they chop up Seinfeld when they run that show? Do they edit it?
They wouldn't dare.
Even though it doesn't fit in with the rest of the other shows?
Nope.
That's what I'm asking you.
They seem to have the understanding that they are running a station that plays tapes. They're not programmers.
Yeah.
What does that term ID mean? He said something about an ID. What does that mean?
All right. At the top of the hour, you're supposed to run an ID.
Why?
You don't even have to. The FCC don't even care anymore.
Oh.
And he's screaming, the FCC's in town. They're going to hear me. The FCC's never in town. The only people they hear are me. The only person who's ever been bothered by the FCC is me. You know that? When I was a disc jockey in Hartford, when I was first starting out, and in Westchester, years ago, 1970...
75.
77. Okay?
Okay.
They would tell us, you ran your own equipment, you ran your own records, you were the only guy in the studio. I got a whole posse with me, but back then I sat there with my own equipment and I ran the whole show. And they would say to you, you have to take meter readings. And you have to play an ID at the top of the hour, a legal ID. I said, well, what's a legal ID? You would have to say WRNW, New York. You couldn't say WRNW, Westchester, New York. A legal ID meant you say WRNW followed by New York, the city where you're broadcasting from. The legal ID must have started 100 years ago, so people would know what city they're listening to or something. I don't even know why that's necessary, but they had to have that.
Doesn't make any sense at
It
all.
makes no sense. That's why when you watch on TV, you see them at the top of the hour, they go WCBS, New York. You know what I mean? Or whatever you're listening to.
Wherever, yeah.
Yeah. So this is what was called the legal ID. So I get there, the guy says, you got two things. Make sure the legal ID runs at the top of the hour, and make sure that you take meter readings.
What are the meter readings for?
Okay. There's a transmitter, right, that transmits the signal?
Right.
They give you all this equipment, and the equipment is attached to the transmitter. And you sit there and you have to read voltage. What else you got to read, Fred? Voltage and current.
Power output.
Yeah, and it's got a little VU meter on it. I don't know how to read this. I have no clue. Yeah, transmitter temperature.
Does it fry your brain if it's wrong? Or
In
what?
fact, sitting next to me, is equipment right now. Fred takes the readings. I don't even take the readings. Fred does it. And he does, how often do you do it? Every 3 hours?
Every 3 hours.
Yeah, okay. So nobody looks at it. Nobody cares. Nobody even knows if he knows what he's doing.
But the whole idea is that if you transmit too low or too high, you could go into somebody else's frequency.
Yeah. So anyway, when you were first a disc jockey, suddenly a program director would walk in and say, uh-oh, the FCC is in town. And would tell you the FCC, and now they believed it. I go, you're kidding. What does that mean? At any time they want, they will do a surprise visit. They have field officers. And he's going to come in, and even if you're in the middle of talking, you have to turn off your microphone and play a record and quickly take the readings for the field officer.
Or he's going to look at your log.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been putting those readings in at the appropriate time, something bad was going to happen.
The station will lose its license. You will be out of the business, and that will be the end of your career. So I used to hear this. I would shake in my pants. The FCC, I'm going, oh, my God, not only do I suck as a disc jockey, but I got to spin records. And what if the field officer comes? What if he comes? He's in town.
The FCC guy was like the boogeyman.
Yeah. I don't know anybody who was ever visited by an FCC field officer. I don't know anyone. It never happened. I never saw it happen.
But in every small market, you hear these stories.
Yeah. It's like the boogeyman. They tell you that, I guess, so that you'll take your meter reading. Because I would never, you know what I would do? I'll be honest. I used to wait to the end of my show. I was in the middle of a show. I don't have time to take meter reading. And I would write down whatever the guy previously me wrote down.
And Everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. That's what I would do. And nothing ever happened. We had one guy in Hartford, the owner of the station, this guy, Cy Dresner, who really took great pleasure in torturing me. I would be on the air. Not only was I the morning man.
He showed up at one of your birthday shows.
Yeah. Cy knew. Listen, I was the morning guy. I had to be funny. I had to make phone calls on tape. Since we didn't have a delay, I had to actually tape the phone calls while the records would be spinning.
When everybody else was listening to music, you were actually in the studio taping phone calls.
And I would play 2-3 records in a row, so I'd be in the middle of taping phone calls. All of a sudden, I don't know if I turn up my sound to hear if the record's ending, it's going to be on the phone call. So what do I do? So I'd be doing that. Then I had to rip the news because I had to read the news every hour, and I had a back time into the network. And on top of that, Cy would call me every morning and go, "Did you take your meter readings?" And I'd say, yeah. "Are you sure? Because I'm down at the transmitters. Is that your answer?" "I can tell if you took them. I've been here all morning." And I'd go, "Well, yeah, I took them, Cy." "Are you sure?" Now, I got a record playing. I'm in the middle of being a morning man on a pretty powerful station. I go, "Cy, I took them." "All right, we're going to do a calibration now. Go get a mono record." "A what?" "What do you mean a mono record?"
What's a mono record?
You wanted a record that wasn't that wasn't in stereo because we were going to do calibrations, whatever that meant. You put on the mono record, and I will check the current and the voltage and how the temperature of everything. I said, "You're kidding. You're kidding me." I don't know. What was Fred, did you ever figure out we worked at the same station?
You know what it is? It's probably some kind of equal signal to both channels.
Oh, is that it?
So that way, he's going to get an accurate reading. So if the meters are going to like 80, it's going to be 80 on both
sides. Yeah. So, we had a lot of time to think about this. Fred and I used to sit around and discuss it.
And you had to know what that mono record is.
We were young men just starting out in life, and we would sit in fear of the FCC and sigh. So all of a sudden, he's standing at the other end somewhere, wherever the transmitter was. Where was the transmitter?
I think it was in West Hartford.
Really? And I don't know where it was, but he was in there in some little shack next to the transmitter. Yeah, I should have gone out there to see what was doing. And then he would be standing there, and the guy looked like Nixon. He was an exact double for Nixon. He'd be like, "Yes, Howard." I said, "Cy, I have to go do a show. The calibration first." Then all of a sudden, he would start to say, "Okay, what is your meter reading now?" So I'd say, "Well, Cy, what is yours reading?" "No, you tell me, Howard." He was testing me to see if I could read the meter. So what I do is I grab the log, I read what the previous guy wrote. I go, 730 volts. "Are you sure?" I go, 730 volts. "Really?" I go, "Yes." He goes, "That's not what mine says." And I realize, I go, yeah, I had to read it again. Now I realize I'm on my own. I can't read what the guy wrote before me.
You got to read what's on that.
Yeah. And I never knew.
And it was most inaccurate gauges in the world.
Yeah, it was, I don't know what I was doing.
The needle should be stuck. Anything could happen to this.
I was so embarrassed. It was like a little test every day.
You had to dial it like a phone?
Yeah, I mean, but I...
And the only person who ever came by was some guy like Cy or a program director who liked to bust people's balls.
And the point was, I was hired to be funny, not to be a meter reader.
But that was the most important part of your job.
Yeah. You're worried more about ratings.
Well, I had a first-class radio telephone license, so everyone figured I knew what I was doing. I'd gone down south to this thing called the Radio Institute of America.
Where's that at?
It was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I lived in a shack for 6 weeks and studied physics so I could pass this test, and I got a license. So when you have a first-class license, everyone thinks you're a genius.
We think you can fix the station if it goes off the air.
Yeah, because Cy would say, "Howard, I expected more from you. You had your first-class radio telephone license." Yeah, I go, "Well, dude, it's a scam. I mean, it's a joke, my license. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a moron."
Yeah, they call that the first phone. You have your first phone.
You have your first phone? Yeah, I went somewhere and I studied all the answers.
Do you still have your license?
No, they discontinued them, but I must have it somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one personal question about an old TV series? If you watched it or you liked it? Did you watch Twin Peaks?
No, I hated it.
You hated it?
I watched it once or twice and it got real bad.
Really confusing.
Sucked. I hate confusing stuff. I like simple shows like Melrose Place and Beverly Hills 90210.
You can see the caliber that you're calibrating.
All right.
Hey, Twin Peaks is no good. Thank you. That was the hype. Everyone got into that, and it was a big joke.
Yeah, the first couple of episodes, that first TV movie or something was pretty good, and then the series sucked.
It sucked. Ooh, I'm touching my arms. It feels good. I'm giving myself some autoerotic stimulation. Oh, yes. Come here, Robin. Rub my arms.
No, you seem to be doing very... You know how you want to be rubbed, so leave me out. I don't think anybody could do it better.
I like me. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1, The Eagle.
8:25 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 8:29 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard, Harley, and Fuel Cost. 97.1 The Eagle.
Later I'll play Michael. Listen to the only show in radio worth listening to. Howard Stern. Yeah. This is that song. I wrote this song.
You wrote it.
Yeah. David Brenner is an old friend of the show. He went and got himself his own radio show now, and he's been on like the Tonight Show 10 million times. And he even gets on Letterman now because Letterman heard him here a couple of times. So finally give him a break for that one. Letterman usually does that. He's come on our show and he gets
This
him on.
is the audition place. People who want to go to our show should consider doing this.
Yeah. So David Brenner. Hey, David. How you doing, man? Hey, you look good. Hey, how you doing, man? Who's that, Rory?
Rory's in.
Hey, Rory.
Rory's Jackie's manager.
Rory, you're Jackie's manager, right? You're Jackie's manager now?
Oh, I like these mics. Man, this is new. Hey, by the way, one year ago, you came on my debut radio show. 1 year ago today.
Is that right?
Yeah. Hey, Rob.
Congratulations.
I thought your show would be up the air by now.
Oh, it was close.
Yeah, right.
It's hanging in there like a ruptured dog. It's crawling around.
No, you're doing well, right, with it?
Yeah, about 85 stages, 65. I need the big markets. You know, I just tell you what it's like.
But are you airing in New York City?
No.
Oh, you're not?
We were on PAT, steam-operated station.
Yeah.
Just turn the corner, you lost it.
Right.
One of those. No.
Yeah, you got to get on some good stations.
Oh, yeah, big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a biggie.
So you admit that the show is 1 year old?
Yeah, I admit that.
You say that the age of the show is 1 year old.
I wouldn't admit it to anyone else.
You don't change the age of the show, do you?
You go on
Only mine. I don't, not the show. That's me.
Right.
I would never lie about my show.
Look how good you look.
Thank you, Tom.
And you had a baby? I was shocked.
3 weeks.
What are you doing?
First of all, you said you never were going to do that again.
It must have been an accident.
No, it wasn't.
Was it an accident?
This time was planned.
Let me tell you about David Brenner. This guy, you want to talk about getting...
Give the history.
You want to talk about getting women. Early on, he screwed up and got married like once or twice, but before he had any money, before he became a comic, he was like a producer of some TV shows and junk.
Yeah.
So anyway, excuse me. So that was his first wife squealing. Right, yeah, still screeching.
So much like her.
Right, didn't it?
So much.
David, what age did you first get married? Like you were really young. You were like 20 years old.
19, 20, and then
you didn't know what you were doing.
One after the other. I popped 2 out right away.
Right.
You know, right away I popped 2. And
like, how long were you married your first marriage?
A year each time.
Each time.
Disaster,
so
man.
you know he's not good at this.
And like, how do you come home and tell your wife you're leaving? Like, what's the move?
You don't come home.
You don't?
You know.
What would you do?
No, it's just like, you could tell. When a guy's laying in bed for 6 months going...
But how long would you date?
Something's wrong.
How long would you date these women before you married them? Like, how long did you know this one that you married?
Well, I knew one from the neighborhood for quite a while.
Couple of years?
What went wrong?
I mean, how's this whole part of the year?
I'll tell you exactly what goes wrong.
They change.
No, here's the thing. Like, let's say we're living here now, we're all talking, everything's fine, we're loving, we're in New York, we're having a great time.
Right.
And I'm fine, I don't want to leave, I don't want to leave Manhattan. Now someone comes in and says, how about that wall? And I say, what wall? And they say, well, they built a wall around Manhattan, 100 feet high, 40 feet thick, you can't get out.
Right.
And then I'll spend the rest of my life trying to get out. It's that locked door. When the door locks, I got to get out of the room.
You understand what he's saying?
Yeah, so in other words, you're saying that the feeling of, oh my God, for the rest of my life I have to be with this woman, overwhelms you.
The marriage part of it. The contract part of it. Not that I have to be with I've been with Elizabeth 8 years. It's great.
Right.
I have no thought.
But you want the knowledge that, hey, I can leave if I'm not happy anymore.
I just want to know that the door's not locked. I don't have to ever go through it. Just don't lock it on me.
So the first time you didn't realize that you were going to have that feeling.
No.
So it happened, and then, like, did you start cheating on your wife after you were married, like, a couple of months?
No, and then it got out.
You got out because you found yourself attracted to other women.
attracted to life.
Right.
I found myself attracted
to life.
To everything. A tuna fish sandwich looked good to me then.
So I'm sure that for a couple of months you were in great pain, and you said, "Oh my God, how can I tell her? How can I tell?" We had a big wedding. You probably got gifts. People were there, right?
Yeah, it's all neighborhood. You know what the gifts were? They reach in their pocket and pull out something and hand it to you. I mean, it was not.
But I'm saying that it's embarrassing you to the parents, and you know what I mean. It would be a shame to your parents, a shame to her parents. You know what I mean?
I didn't think of that.
You didn't?
No, I didn't think. I just thought I got to get the hell out.
You got to get out.
He thought he was choking to death.
Right. You said, "Hey, I'm going to do what I want to do."
Yeah, when you're choking to death, you don't say, "Gee, I hope I'm not disturbing a neighbor." You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm choking. I'm choking to death.
Okay, so then you come home. So you didn't come home and tell your wife? You told her over the phone, or what?
No. The truth is, it was really bad. I said, "Hey, this isn't working. I got to get out." You know.
And what did she say? Did she start crying?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. Oh, who wants to lose you?
I was worth about $800.
Right, so there was no issue of going to court or anything like that.
No. It was a fine, okay, best of luck, boom, 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 and I left.
And how'd you get the divorce? You got a lawyer to just draw up some
papers or something? Yeah, it was easy. It was like one of those 25-hour jobs. You know?
And she wasn't that upset? I mean, because...
No.
All she's losing is David Brenner.
Yeah. Right. At that point, you're not David Brenner.
No, at that point, I'm waiting for the subway.
Were you getting high-caliber, good-looking woman like you do
gorgeous,
now?
Yeah.
Not as good as what you get now.
No, it was always gorgeous.
Really?
Yeah.
Even then?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. No kidding.
I was lucky. Yeah.
You were good with women.
Since I was a little kid.
Well, how old were you when you first got laid?
14.
No kidding. Ever have two girls at the same time even before you got famous?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Really?
Oh, stop it.
You're lying now.
No, I'm not lying now.
Really? Really?
Two women before you were 20.
Sure. I used to go with older women.
Really? Okay, all right. So then, all of a sudden, you didn't probably realize, when you got married the second time, you said, you didn't really realize that it's marriage that screws you up.
Hey, I'm a couple years older.
You think you're
I'm wiser.
Right. So how many years did you wait to get married again?
About 2 years.
And you met a hot piece of ass?
Yeah.
Was this already you were a comedian?
Yeah. No.
No, you were a producer in television.
Yeah.
So
no. I was just in the streets. I was like 21 years old.
What do you mean you were in the streets? I was
still living in the neighborhood.
What would you do for a living at 21?
That time I was
a drug dealer?
Yeah, no, I was in TV. Yeah, I was getting.
Oh, you were in TV.
Yeah,
you were working in the television.
Starting. Yeah.
Like doing what? Like a golfer or something?
No. I was writing shows. I was writing TV shows.
So like girls were attracted. You had a nice job and.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't a job, and you go up to them and say, "How you doing? I got a nice job."
And you meet this hot piece of ass, and you say,
"Don't walk in a bar and say I got a nice job."
So 2 years later, you married. Well, I do. So 3 years later, you married. I got a problem. I don't know what it is.
You have to.
Yeah, I have no rap. So okay, so I really don't. I don't have a rap with women. I don't know how to talk to women. They're not attracted to me.
Yeah, but you reach the point.
Says, so you want to go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I've reached the point where I can get. I wouldn't have to. Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
You don't have to be verbal.
Right.
You don't ever have to say another word.
I know.
You walk out. It's how it's done. You walk out.
I want that.
That's talking.
I would like to try that.
That's talking.
My wife won't let me date.
But that's the problem.
Yeah.
You got all the right things at the wrong time.
I know.
I mean, you got the perfect setup now.
All right, but wait a second. I know. Don't even remind me. I'll kill me. All right. Wait a second. Yeah. Why don't you torture me? Why don't you just chop my penis off, okay? You want to torture me. So, David, you're saying that you waited a couple of years. Yeah. All of a sudden, you say, hey, wait a second. And now I'm older now.
No.
Hey, you see me, man? I got some tattoos now.
I noticed that.
Check that out?
Wow.
Yeah, these are paste-ons.
They're fake.
Yeah,
fake.
of course they are.
Paste-ons. All right, so...
you want to be buried in a Jewish grave, that's why.
No, I just chop my arm off. It's okay. I'm only half Jewish, by the way. I don't have your problem. All right, so anyway, listen. All right, listen to me. 2 years you wait.
Yeah, 2 years, yeah.
And you meet this hot piece of ass.
Yeah.
You date her for what, a couple of months?
No, about a year.
About a year, and then you say, hey, baby, I got to have you the rest of my life. You get married, and suddenly, the day you get married, you feel trapped again?
I knew it right away. Can I tell you something?
You do it as you were going to the wedding?
No. It wasn't that. It was like the first day, you go away, you have a little fun, but come back. I'm living in one room.
Right.
This is a horror.
Yeah, right.
I'm living in one room. This is terrible.
Yeah, and she doesn't go home.
And I'm putting away clothes. And she's putting away clothes, and I got that death rattle.
Yeah, right.
In my throat. I swear to God, I had that.
Right,
again,
like, I have nowhere to put my stuff. But you must have gotten married because you didn't want to be alone and stuff.
No, it wasn't that. I don't even know why the hell I did it.
You just did it.
I have no idea. Yeah,
it was the thing to do.
It's like when you wake up in the morning after you've been throwing up all night. You say, "What did I drink last night?"
Yeah, right.
You didn't go in there and start thinking about it. You just, hey, give me another one.
You're a kid. You don't know what you're doing.
I didn't know what the hell I'm doing.
So this one now, how did you break up with her? I mean, it must have been difficult.
I figured the way it worked the first time, it would work the second time.
What did you do? You just came home and you said, this is choking me?
Yeah.
Did she have any kind of clue? That
Yeah.
How did she have a clue? Did you say to her...
the same thing. You're sitting at dinner and the guy looks at you and he goes... he grabs his throat. You know something's wrong.
No, but be obvious. I mean,
really.
tell me exactly what happened. Like, at some point, you turned to her and said, "Hey,
this isn't working. I'm choking to death here."
And then she would say, "Hey, come on, let's try it."
No.
Did you try for a little while to cover it up? You know that you weren't happy?
But it was real difficult.
Yeah.
It's real difficult to cover up you're not happy.
Right.
You know, when you're sitting around really feeling like crap.
Right.
It kind of shows.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You don't sit there with that smile. It's like a fake, like a gas kind of looking, you know, and you have gas that's, a fake smile thing.
So you didn't do anything cruel like say, "Hey, call my first wife and ask her how I felt. This is how I feel." Nothing like that. And then you got out of it.
It's obvious, yeah.
And then you knew for the rest of your life, I'm never getting married.
That's it.
Now, when you had your first son, Cole, that was I don't want to say anybody's an accident. It was an affair. You had a love affair.
No, it was an affair, and it was an accident.
It was an accident.
Yeah.
But you love Cole, and you even fought for him. You got custody of him and everything, and you're raising him. And he's a good kid.
He's fabulous.
Right. So. But you even said to me, Jesus,
never again.
I don't need that again.
I wouldn't have done it if somebody had asked, and I would never do that.
Honestly, you can't, the whole thing, you can't say never. I had no
But didn't you feel tricked the first time? You felt kind of tricked.
Not a little.
Were you wearing a rubber? Were you wearing a rubber the first?
On my left ear. That's the mistake.
No, you were wearing a rubber.
It doesn't help.
Were you not wearing a rubber?
No, I wasn't. Why would I?
You weren't. I'm talking about the first time. The first time you had a kid.
Never.
You never wear rubber.
No.
Still don't.
Still don't wear rubber.
No, with one woman 8 years. When am I going to wear it? This look kind of silly.
No, but I'm saying, with your first
girlfriend. You get a little insecure. I'm putting on a rubber. Where were you last night?
But with Cole's mom, you wore a rubber. You didn't wear that.
No, I don't wear rubber.
You don't.
No, women had pills.
She
said she was on the pill.
Women had pills.
So when you got her pregnant, you said, "Hey, go for an abortion," but she didn't even want one.
Didn't they tell you, David, that not every pill is a birth control pill?
I should have seen the pill. I should have seen the pill fall out on the floor.
No, but you're a famous
guy. That was my mistake. When I saw the pill fall out on the floor, I just said, "What? How did it drop out?"
You're a famous, wealthy man. You know
I got sucked in.
You got sucked in. Okay, all right, fine. But okay, it worked out fine. All right.
Okay, now.
He was drunk on love.
Right.
No, I wasn't. I was just having a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, I was having a real good time.
Well, that was a nice way of saying.
Now what? Now was the second pregnancy planned? This new girlfriend?
I'm 100%
planned.
100%.
You said.
So how did this come up? When did you start talking about having a baby?
Well, we've been talking about it. We've been together 8 years. Yeah, we've been talking about it. And then when I came back to New York and got the radio show, moved back to New York.
Did you draw up papers? I mean, have you drawn up papers saying, "Hey, look, I'm not married to you"?
No, because if I were with someone that had to draw up papers, I would get away from that person.
But what's going to happen? I mean, you're not going to last with this girlfriend.
I am going to last. I'm done.
David.
I got a little boy now.
David,
I got
hello.
a great little kid.
Hello.
I'm
now,
Howard.
You should probably feel trapped already.
No, I don't. Not at all. Not at all.
You do feel a little trapped.
No, I don't.
Because now you have the kid that's as good as a marriage
it's
license.
Great.
You're trapped.
Fabulous. The kid is fabulous.
How do you know
it's only been 3 weeks, David. You don't know yet.
Best 3 weeks I've had in 3 weeks.
So if you have to leave this girlfriend, let's say something happens where you feel trapped. You won't. But you said that when you get married. This is
not married. We're not married.
All right, but let's say something happens where you fall in love with someone else.
It won't happen.
Okay. All right. Now, Rory, you're his manager. Tell him it'll happen. All right. Okay. Let's say it happens.
It's not going to happen.
She's going to hit you up for child support and everything else. It's going to be a whole custody battle again.
No, it's not.
It's not? You sure? Oh, still naive.
I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done.
You're really in love.
I am.
And so you could marry this woman.
Why don't you get married?
Because it'll ruin it. I'm telling you, if I got married, if Elizabeth and I married,
this guy David Brenner,
as it is,
guys, you got to understand something.
I would choke to death.
This guy David Brenner gets more church than any man on the planet.
I used to. It's true.
He was dating this girl Victoria. When he dumped her, I almost fell off my chair.
I didn't understand how that happened. What happened there? She wasn't married to you. Why didn't that work?
He got sick of her. And she was a piece of ass. I almost nailed her on your TV show.
Yeah, you tried to.
I tried to.
He didn't care there was an audience or anything. He went right after.
It's better.
Howard was the best. Howard got that look in his eye, and he didn't care. Forget the cameramen were there. Forget that there was a studio audience. Forget people at home. Howard went and tried to nail her right on the floor.
I slipped into a thong. I wore a thong.
You wore a thong?
Yeah, you were down on the ground on a blanket.
And I was totally fully aroused on his show. I don't know if people know. I wasn't that big, so no one saw it. I was fully aroused. I was laying on the ground with your girlfriend. She was wearing a bathing suit. I was fully aroused on TV. I had the best time of my life.
Right. He went for it. I got to give him. I mean, he didn't care that
this was a knockout.
That I'm there. He didn't care that I was there. He didn't care about anything.
And you got jealous.
Alone.
And you got jealous.
You were alone.
You came running over.
That probably ruined their relationship.
Yep.
Well, it was a different kind of program that I had.
Yeah, right. You were going for a family show.
It was a different kind of show.
I know, but it was great. I must tell you something.
Yeah.
that I was fully aroused. This woman could have been a Playboy playmate
Yes,
or whatever.
she's very beautiful.
And he dumped her.
You were aroused with Elizabeth. Remember we went to the fight in Atlantic City? You kept looking at her ass. Come on.
Which one is Elizabeth?
The blonde I've been with all these years.
I didn't see her.
We
Is
went
that
to
her?
the fight.
Yeah, she had a nice ass.
We were dancing and everything. You came out. Remember?
Now this girl.
Came back and that's all you could talk
Remember
about.
I said she was an oceanographer?
Yes, and
That's
this
the one,
girl,
right.
and this girl is very hot that you're with now. In fact, she knew enough to lose all the baby fat and weight. It's
Before
Robin,
the baby was born.
Robin saw her 2 weeks after the baby was born, and she was wearing a skin-tight dress.
Yes. She's smart.
Because she knows you would dump her.
She right away to the
You
gym.
love a perfect body. How did she
dump
lose?
her.
How did she lose the weight in 2 weeks?
First of all, she only gained 19 pounds in the pregnancy.
Right.
So you lose.
So she dieted through
So
the
right
pregnancy.
away you're losing 10 pounds right there.
Right.
So now it's just an extra 9 pounds. She only weighed 118.
But a woman should not diet through the pregnancy. But
No, she didn't diet.
She didn't really.
She just carried small.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
So she was back. Her body was
Boy,
back.
my
2
wife
weeks
didn't
long.
carry small. Oh no.
Well, that's his 3 kids.
She gained 45 pounds. Unbelievable.
Did Allison gain 45
Oh,
pounds?
we fought 2 years to get rid of the baby weight. Still working on it. Unbelievable.
Did you? 45
Oh, yeah, 45 pounds. God bless her. She goes, oh, I feel the need to eat. But what, this kid of yours, this new kid must be the size of an acorn.
Well, he was. He was a little premature, so he was 6 pounds, 6 ounces, and now he weighs 8 pounds.
I see.
Yeah,
I
he's
see.
8 pounds.
Wow, well, congratulations.
Thanks, pal.
He'll dump this girlfriend, I predict, within 6 months.
And we'll be having.
Hey, wait a minute.
We'll have to help him work it out.
This is the longest.
He'll be on this show saying that the judge is no good and that he wants custody of the kid.
No way.
Really?
No way. No way. This is the longest I've ever been with anyone.
You should bring her on the show. I would like to meet her this
She would.
She really
She would come on the show.
She would come on?
Yeah.
I would love to see
You
her.
can call it home today. She's at home.
Oh, I would love to see her. I want to see her.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll bring her on the show.
Bring her back. Next time you come on
I
here.
would have. I didn't think of it. Of
Right.
course I'll bring her on the show.
So I haven't seen you in a while. You're busy, I guess, with that radio show, huh?
Murder, man.
Yeah?
Boy,
And-
I'll tell you something. I admire what you did from the time you did it in the beginning.
Yeah, you were always
I had
my biggest fan.
I am.
My biggest
I always
supporter.
have it. I always have it.
Right.
I had no idea how you got to bust yourself to do
Sucks.
this job.
Sucks.
I thought it's like an easy job
Right.
compared to TV.
Right.
It's way harder than TV.
It's worse.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is really going to the factory.
Yeah, it is. So you ready? Comedy
Toyota Comedy Festival, yeah.
So to see Robert Klein, who is really brilliant.
Wonderful.
One of the best stand-up comedians in the world.
Oh, he's fabulous.
And David Brenner, of course, who's one of the best in the world, tonight at Sylvia and Danny Kaye Playhouse at Hunter College in New York, and you'll really enjoy the show. And he's a new father. He's got this kid, and he gets laid all the
So
time.
now you're changing diapers and all that?
No, I don't do that. I can't do that, man.
How long did it take you to knock her up?
You know what's amazing? I'll tell you something. When I made up my mind to do it, I swear to you, this is just what
One
I said.
shot?
Here's what I said to her.
Go ahead.
I said, I got the bullets, the gun's loaded, I'm ready to fire. Boom. And that was the month we did it.
And was she ovulating?
This month we're doing it.
Did she know when she was
every day,
ovulating?
or did you take temperature and all that stuff?
Yeah, she knew what she was doing, but we do it every day anyway, so we had to hit a good one.
And this one's a girl.
The woman I'm with is a girl.
No, the baby's a girl.
He's a boy.
It's another boy?
A boy.
But how did you do that? I can't make boys.
I don't know.
You know what it is? My penis is small. I figured it out. That's what it is.
What has that got to do with it?
I'm very tiny. And
I've heard.
No, but it's really
But
true.
tell
I'm
me
not
what
making it
is
up.
the mechanical
David's laughing.
reason?
I said I admit
I
that.
always thought you hung down. I thought it's one of these things. You don't shake it, you step on it, but you've been pulling us all these years.
No. It's
You know,
small.
he gets done, he doesn't
I know
shake
you're
it,
pretty
he
big.
steps on it.
I know you're big.
I'm big. It has nothing to do with making a boy.
Right. No, it
It
does.
has a lot to do with getting in trouble. It has nothing to do with making a boy.
It has something to do with it. I'll tell you. I'm so tiny that I barely, and also I'm premature.
You couldn't talk to them. Then you got a small one, and then you ejaculate too fast. What the hell?
I got to tell you something. It's so small, it doesn't even cast a shadow. You know, having a guy like himself in the shadow, it's unbelievable. Nothing there. So listen to this.
Yeah.
I know when I read these books on how to, on pregnancy, my wife would bring home these different books, and she's studying it. I would get my wife pregnant. My sperm is very, very full and
Well, that's
energetic.
good. That's good. It's fast, but it's full.
Yeah, I don't have a low sperm count or anything like that. My wife has eggs. God bless her. But literally, because I'm the size of an elevator button.
Yeah. Up or down.
No, really, I'm telling you. This is really true. That the penetration is not that deep.
Yeah.
And because
what does this mean?
Believe it or not, a woman is very acidic inside her vagina.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's why if you want to make a boy sometimes, they tell the woman to douche, to neutralize...
Something like vinegar, right?
Yeah, with vinegar to neutralize the acids in the vagina.
So did Allison do that?
And, she douched. Absolutely. I wasn't any part of that, but she did douche. And they even said if your husband's small like me, that you should be up on all fours. And with that, the sperm will be able... You see, the male sperm is weaker than the one that makes the female.
Yeah, right.
So that way it would have a greater chance of survival, the male sperm, and would get through there. Because she's so acidic, and my penis is so small, it's going to go through more acid deposits.
Yeah.
So the odds of me making a boy is very, very small.
It's like walking across China with you.
And I have 3 daughters.
I know.
Because you're big, you're practically right on top of her eggs.
Yeah, I'm
literally.
right there. I'm smashing them.
They don't have to go through...
He broke eggs while he was doing
the carton. I broke the carton and everything.
But be honest.
Do she has to race.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah.
But even in this book it says with someone my size, my penis size.
Right.
When we do it, it's almost like two. When we make love, it's like 2 lesbians grinding together. You understand? You ever see the lesbians grinding together?
Why didn't you try the turkey baster if this was the case?
No. I don't believe in that. I don't like that. But so that's why I've always conceived girls. See, I'm the reason I've had daughters. You, on the other hand, very full. I happen to know that. I can see that. You're big, right?
Yeah.
So he has no problem making boys.
Of course he's going to say he's big.
Yeah. But he is big. He is big. Because I've heard from even when Victoria broke up with him, she said he was big. She never dissed him. She never said that he was small. Never.
Oh, good.
Never.
That's good.
Never.
But I don't think it has anything to do with making boys. That's interesting, though. I mean, you sounded like a professor.
No.
Listen,
I said it. Yeah.
Acid, the douche. I mean,
the biggest.
You're like a professor. I felt like I was in class. It's wonderful.
The biggest.
I don't think it's true, but it was wonderful.
No, it is true, because the biggest bummer in my life, I'm being serious. Forget about being with women and stuff. But having a small penis is so embarrassing. I can't even tell you. I can't shower. I couldn't play sports in school.
I watch your own thing.
If it was there, I can't go to a urinal and urinate because I'm afraid someone will see me.
If you now proclaim to everyone how small you are, what difference does it make?
Because when you see it, it's shocking. You know, when you heard about the movie The Elephant Man.
And then you saw him, right? You're right.
It's like we've all heard about the pictures of Nicole Brown Simpson. They say they're horrible pictures,
right.
But if you saw them, you would puke.
Freak out. Exactly.
You see, that's the same with my penis. If you saw it, you would laugh so hard.
In the bedroom, if you're large, you got the problem of the ice cold water. That's the problem you don't have.
No, I'm telling you, what I used to do. In fact, the few times that other men would see my genitals, my genitalia. When I used to work,
the Italian part of you?
I used to work. Yeah, I used to work up in a summer camp. And all the guys shared a bunk, all the kitchen workers. And once in a while, you'd have to undress for bedtime. What I would do is I would lay...
Once in a while, you'd have to undress.
Like every night. So I would lay in the bed, and I would wait till I would get a little aroused. Because I'd be thinking about girls or something.
Yeah, right.
And as soon as I felt a little bit of arousal, I'd quickly jump down off my bed, because it was a bunk bed. I'd jump down off the bed and rip my pants off, because it looked like I... was full.
Yeah.
But soft ones don't go up in the air.
No. Of course not. It looked like I was just a big guy. Now, who hasn't done this? Well, you never had to worry about it. Jackie, you're pretty small. You never did that? You never did that?
Everybody's chubbed up.
Right. Chubbed up, they call it. Some guys call it that. That's what I would do.
So you'd
disguise it.
You wait until you got a Woody, and then.
Well, not a full one. A partial. Right.
Giving yourself a little.
Now, when I'm with a lady.
Why are all these guys looking at each other at camp? That's what I want to know.
I don't know that anyone was looking, but I didn't want to be ostracized by my fellow.
I don't know what you were thinking about to get chubbed up.
No, there were other guys. I can recognize a small man. Other guys would do the same thing, baby.
The guys that swung out of the bunks.
Yeah, I would see guys who hid.
Yeah.
There were guys.
It's the hesitation.
I was small, and I knew it, and I had to live with it. And even to this day, with my wife, worst experience of my life happened the other night. Can I tell you about this?
Sure.
My 2-year-old daughter and my wife come in. I was showering, and my shower door is a glass door. It's all glass, very high tech looking, very mod, my bathroom. And I go, oh my God. I got to walk out of the shower. I'm done showering, and my wife is standing there. I can't be aroused for the life of me, and it's embarrassing to walk out of the shower because I look like a woman walking out of the shower. That's what it looks like. You don't see me. I walk out, and I quickly go grabbing for the towel. I make one move. I kind of slide my hand in front of my genitalia, and I grab the towel, and I'm going to wrap myself up.
Right.
So turn off that shower, will you?
Smart move.
Yeah. So, like a vampire, I hate the lights. You know what I mean? I don't want the light on.
Yeah. So you're in a dark bathroom reaching for the towel?
No, the lights are on. I can't get to the lights. I reach for the towel, I come out, and my 2-year-old daughter goes, she's looking at my penis, and she goes, "What's that? What's that?" So I quickly wrap the towel around it. I go, "Never mind. Please." My wife goes, "Show her your penis. She wants to see it." Yeah, oh, my God. So, she says, don't make a big issue out of it. She was right. Don't make a big issue out of it. But I have nothing to show the kid. So the kid gets down under the towel. She's trying to see because she sees that there was something going on there. She wants to see this thing.
She knows that she doesn't look like that.
Yeah, right. She knows. So Allison goes, "That's Daddy's penis. Now, Daddy, open up your towel and show her." And I'm like, oh, man. So I open it up, and my wife's even like, what's that? That's no education.
That's Daddy's poor excuse.
Yeah, oh, my God. And I didn't mind showing the kid because the kid has everything to compare it to. She's only 2. She'll forget.
She'll be laughing a few years from now.
Oh, yeah, if she remembers.
And she'll never have penis envy.
So I open up the towel. I swear to God, I had the towel wrapped around me, and I went like this. All right. Just like that, real quick, 2 seconds, and I wrapped it back up, and that was it. Because I don't want her to see. I don't want her to see.
Oh, geez.
I tell you, it's unbelievable. She ran out, got a magnifying glass.
I was shocked that she saw something to ask about the way you
She thought he was attacked by a bee.
Yeah, no, she thought
Daddy's getting bitten by a bee.
She thought it was a duty.
Oh.
Yeah, she did. She thought it was duty. Yeah, she thought I was racing the wrong way. She did. She really did. She didn't know what it was. There was something there, but not quite there. It was very hard to make out. Kids say the darndest things, huh? Yeah, it's really wonderful.
Well, why would you come out of the shower, and why is everybody sitting in the bathroom waiting for you to come out?
Because my wife is consumed with my bathroom habits. I don't know how it is for you and your girlfriend.
It's off limits.
Yeah.
Bathrooms are off limits.
That's the way it should be.
I don't want to share them.
Have you ever seen your girlfriend? Yeah, she's gorgeous. Have you ever seen her go to the bathroom?
I don't want to.
Have you ever smelled the bathroom after she went?
I don't.
You wouldn't even know, right?
I don't even know.
My wife will have the door open. She's in there. She's sitting there doing a number 2. Yes, the door's open. It's part of the community.
I am not into that.
Boy. No. Come on. How is that for love?
Oh. That's a big turnoff.
Forget
about it. Remember when they had unisex bathrooms in New York?
Yes.
At all the clubs?
That's awful.
I hated them.
No.
You'd go in, you stand there at the urinal, and the girls would come in and dump.
So you never smelled. You never smelled the bathroom after your girlfriend went to the bathroom.
I don't use the same bathroom.
You don't. You have separate bathrooms.
Of course.
Boy, oh boy, that's terrific.
One house, separate bathrooms.
Now, who is going to take care of this baby? I don't see you staying home on Saturday night.
Here's the story. We have a live-in nurse, and then we're going to have a live-in nanny.
Of course. Yeah, because otherwise I have no life.
No,
you're not going to raise this kid.
Let me tell you something. We've been out every night.
Right.
She breastfeeds and all, but we've been out every night since she had the baby.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't missed a night? So
No, I got to go out. I can't, man. I'll
Good
go
for you.
nuts.
Good for you. That's how I am. I got to tell you something.
2 weeks after your first child was born, you were locked in the house. David's out at dinner.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something.
Wait a minute. She was bedridden. She had a rough pregnancy, so she was in bed for 6 weeks before the birth.
Oh, really?
Oh, is that right?
So she couldn't leave her bed, so I stayed home 6 weeks every night for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's enough. I got to tell you
enough
something.
for him.
That's the longest I ever stayed home.
You got it right. Let me tell you something. My third kid almost ended my marriage. I'm going to tell you something. On Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, my wife didn't have anybody helping her.
Oh,
and she can't handle it.
Do that.
She can't handle it.
For that moment, you don't want it. You got to.
When we said we're going to have a third one, I said, I don't care if you have 20 more kids. Just don't involve me. I'm willing to have them. You raise them. She goes, oh, I can handle it. I'm going to raise them. Don't worry about it. All of a sudden, Sunday morning, my wife goes, go down and get the baby. I said, you got to get somebody to do this. I'm not getting up out of bed.
No.
She goes, well, why don't you help me? Why aren't you helping? I said, it's Sunday. God damn it, I'm relaxing. You see what it is to do a show 5 days a week. You're tired. You wanted some time to refuel.
Right.
Well, I said to her, get round-the-clock help. I don't care.
Right.
I said, I'll take 3 jobs.
If you can afford it, you
afford it. I would have worked 3 jobs.
Yeah.
How many people did your mother have helping?
My mother had 3 kids, no help. But wasn't happy with it.
Right, exactly.
You think she was doing a dance when she had to get up and feed a kid?
Hey, let me tell you something.
My father wouldn't. It was not. He doesn't take responsibility until you can swing a bat.
Right.
My father.
He wasn't involved. My father never was involved.
No way.
It was a clear delineation between who took care of what. My father went out and worked. I tell you something. My wife's like, oh, no, you have to help. I see Baba Booey. He just had a baby. His wife, she won't even let him go out and take a bike ride.
You should see how angry this makes Howard.
Yeah, it makes me nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So Baba Booey comes in this morning. He says, guess what? I'm going to get to go bike riding again. I go, well, your wife broke down? He goes, no, we got a seat for the baby on the back of the bike.
So now he can't go alone.
Yeah, he can't go alone. I said, that's dangerous. I said, the man takes a bike ride. Take a bike ride. I said, tell your wife to watch the kid. You need time to unwind.
Right.
He won't do it. He's a big pussy.
If you can afford it, you got to get help.
Afford it.
You know, I don't want to stay home.
Oh, of course not.
No way. Change a diaper? You got to be kidding me. I'm
thoroughly depressed.
I have nothing. I'll tell you what. I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do with openings.
Right.
That's what I told her. And Elizabeth knows this. I have nothing to do with a baby's openings. I don't put anything into a hole or take anything that comes out of a hole.
So you won't feed the baby?
No,
you won't give him milk?
Nothing.
He's right. He's not.
Come on,
he's not built for that.
Children.
No. Man's a worker. The worker bee.
You get him a hamburger.
You got to go out and kill lions and come back.
Of course, I got to hunt. I'm hunting. I'm busy hunting.
You like is, I'll tell you. You know what opening you like? Girls opening. Yeah. Me too, pal. We're all perfect. Rory, shut up. All right, very good. Let me just say that let me give David Brenner a plug here because I'm running behind schedule because I want to get the hell out of here. David Brenner, world class comedian.
Yep.
I see Letterman has you on quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, I just did it the other night.
Aren't you happy he gets bad press now? It's great. All right, David Brenner. And
first he tortured me with Carson. For 10 years he tortured me with Carson. What's he really like? Do you really like him? Now, Letterman got bad press, huh?
Yeah, right. No, you know what it is? I like David Letterman. He's a great guy. He always had me on.
He's great to you.
He's very good to me. Very good to me.
He's always been good to you.
But I couldn't stand that the guy got such great press. I mean, everything. Like today, I'm reading in the newspaper. David Letterman is changing the home office for his top 10 list. You know, at the end of the top 10 list, he goes, and from the home office in Sioux City. So he's changing it to somewhere in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's a full-page story.
Yeah. I mean, that's news?
What? That's a news story?
That's when you're Letterman. You and I could change Grand Rapids.
Right.
Redo Grand Rapids.
Nobody pays attention.
Well, you do. Come on, you're Mr. Media. Come on.
No,
Howard,
I have to make fun of Selena to get some press.
Yeah, it's only bad press.
No, I only get bad press. That's the only way I get it. Don't touch that?
What?
Look, he's nervous.
Look at him.
I don't want him getting in trouble again.
Who cares about trouble? Trouble's my middle name.
Oh, talk about something else. You got
just a few rabble-rousers. Don't worry about it. I got it all under control.
Okay.
I tell you something. You know what I mean. You're secretly happy. When you see a guy like that get knocked, he didn't do so great at the Academy Awards. His ratings are going down a little bit. All comedians like that a little bit. It's okay. It's all right. You don't have to say anything. All right. David Brenner.
David got awfully quiet.
I thought when Carson left, I'm done with that approach.
No.
I thought he'll never get me on that. He'll never do that to me again. Here he is. He's got the Letterman thing. Folds it right in.
He knows what I'm talking about. David Brenner and Robert Klein.
He's just got to do it.
No, you know. You know what I'm talking about.
Right in. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
David Brenner and Robert Klein will be appearing together. That's a great double bill, by the way. Robert Klein, funny guy.
Klein's great.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yep.
And someday on this show, a couple of months from now, I'm going to tell people what you really think of Robert Klein. That's a whole other story. But that's all right. For now, you love him.
You know, I love that they're together.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But I do love Letterman.
You should have heard David badmouthing. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Robert Klein, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. David Brenner and Robert Klein.
Yes.
Who really, Robert Klein is one of the best.
Yes, he is.
They will be tonight. Go see this show tonight at Sylvia and Danny K. Playhouse. Whatever the hell that is.
It's at Hunter College.
He must have made some donation to get them to name a playhouse after him. Danny K. Playhouse. What do you give him?
His wife.
Sylvia.
Yeah, she was the brain.
Was she?
She wrote all the stuff. She wrote all the material.
He wasn't even funny.
Yeah. He sucked, right?
Performer. No, he's a great performer, but she wrote all the lines.
Did she really?
Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No wonder he never divorced.
That's why it's named after her, too.
Sylvia and Danny K. Playhouse. Who knew? And
I got a radio show.
Well, yeah.
I got a radio show.
Yeah, of course.
The other one, I don't need help. Klein and I sell out.
It's already sold out?
It's a radio show. If you
the radio show? Oh.
Yeah, if you could hit the radio show, you know what I mean?
David has an afternoon radio program.
That very much if you
he took it over from that Stivoza Larry King.
Yes.
That big pain in the ass who couldn't get a rating point. Larry King, the biggest do-nothing in broadcasting.
I thought he was going to talk about me. This is unbelievable.
Doesn't know how many marriages he had.
He's not talking about me, is he?
No, talking about Larry King.
Thanks for the plug.
Talking about Larry King.
Thanks for the plug.
And I know how you hate him, too. Larry King, a nothing of a man. True?
You know what's interesting? He does it. I'll tell you something. I have a commercial running on for a toothpaste, right?
Yeah.
I talked about this on the air, and the second time he says it, he says toothpaste.
He can't even say the word.
How does this run, and why isn't anyone stopping it?
First of all, look at his teeth.
Toothpaste.
Yeah.
He says toothpaste. How can you do that?
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, that's a nice criticism compared to what I've been saying. Well, I'm glad to see you're attacking him as well. David Brenner and Robert Klein. Now, remember, David Brenner's radio show is on in like 60 cities, 60 markets.
85 markets.
85 markets across the country.
They need some big ones, Howard.
Needs a couple of big markets. If there's any radio station, there's certainly enough a radio station you could put this show on. You could put a David Brenner show on. What do you got on in the afternoon now? Some dopey music? Nobody's listening to that.
Yeah, that's not where it's at, right? The music.
And I hope Robert Klein tonight does a good job opening for you. Will he be opening for you?
No, Robert has music. He can't do it that way.
Who goes on first?
I do.
Oh, you go on first?
Yeah, sure. I like to.
Surprised.
Then we're going to sit together and take questions from the audience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
what
of the
kind
comedy
of music does he have? That's a good
He has the whole
excuse.
thing.
I got music.
Ask Roy. Roy handles it.
He has music.
Yeah.
Please.
You know he plays.
Tell him to knock off the music. I've seen him in concert. The music is not what people are going to see.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, I'm not surprised by anything. Trust me, I've seen Robert many times in concert. He's a brilliant comic, but when he plays the music, I want to leave. No music, just straight jokes. True, David? You've seen his act.
Oh, I like the harmonica.
Tell the truth.
I haven't seen him.
Harmonica for a few minutes, not a whole musical thing.
Well, he doesn't do an opera.
He does 2 songs. What? How many songs? All right, 2 is all right.
Just enough to make David go on first.
Yeah.
That's smart. Actually, that's very smart. I never thought of that.
No offense.
You know, when we
go
talked,
on,
he said, I have music. I said, then you have to go first.
No, when I hear those songs are exit music. All right, listen to me.
Yes.
You can criticize him a little. He's a brilliant comic, but he's...
Look, when I come back on, I'll tell you what I really think of it.
Yeah. Good.
Right?
I would like that. So tonight, we'll see you at the Sylvia and Danny K. Playhouse at Hunter College in New York. We'll see you on the radio this afternoon on stations all across the country. The great David Brenner and his manager, Rory.
The great Rory.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you.
Very nice. And we'll be back after these words. We'll do some news. We'll get out of here. Thanks, David. Good to see you.
Great seeing you, man.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. More after this. 97.1 The Eagle. The Howard Stern Show.
I was thinking of having a baby shower for David Brenner at Scores. Want to throw him a baby shower? We could all bring little gifts.
Yeah, because he's never getting married. There'll be no bachelor party.
Yeah. And what happened to Chuck Norris? I thought we were throwing him a bachelor party.
It's not August yet. And remember...
August. They said June.
I thought it was August.
No, June. August?
Yes.
Haven't been to Scores in so long. Is anyone getting married?
Look in the paper.
Any stranger will do.
Hey, Mo, look at the paper. Well, anyway. Hey, by the way, we read an article on the air yesterday. Mark and Brian were crowing that they were number one men 25 to 54. They told some reporter that. Or that they were...
were they talking about Los Angeles? They couldn't have been.
They said they were number one with people 25 to 54. I went and got... Here it is. Persons 25 to 54. Number one, Howard Stern, 7.2. Mark and Brian, 4.8. Yeah, okay, so...
Well, they were met number one after Howard.
Oh, okay. That's like Imus. He tells everyone he's number two. Even though he's number, like, 11, he's number two. Well, he's not number one like I am, so he must be number two. Number two behind Howard.
Well, if Howard's number one, I'm number two.
Yeah, I'm number two. No, what about the other 10 stations in between you, you fossil, moron, dickwad? I must have been rough on Larry King yesterday morning, because I was talking to my mother last night, and she goes, "Oh, you did some show this morning." I said, "What'd you hear?" I thought she was complimenting me. "You were terrible to that Larry King." "Oh, such awful things out of you." I said, "Really? I thought I went too easy on him." Thanks.
Does she ever consider that he's saying nasty things about you?
I told her that. You don't have to play that game. Well, Mom, what game you want me to play for 4 hours? You know.
What would she have you do?
I don't know. I'd like to hear the show she wants me to do.
Oh, no.
All right, today we're going to talk about transcendental meditation, how good it is for you. Then we're going to talk about how to eat properly.
You know, Larry ought to meditate.
Yeah. So, maybe tomorrow we'll call this guy who claims he was on the set of The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy and Tom Shadyac.
Well, can we really trust it?
No, but it'll be fun.
Okay.
It'll get me all worked up. He said he's upset. The world knows remaking The Nutty Professor is maybe the worst idea in show business ever.
He's at a loss.
Producer.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah.
Well, I wish him all the best. He could use a hit.
Yeah. After all the nice things I've said about him, I guess he's repaying me.
Yeah, it's time to hit back. Because you've been too nice.
Springtime for Hitler, 1995, Eddie Murphy and The Nutty Professor. So let's, it was good to see David Brenner, our old friend.
Yeah. Hasn't been in our studios for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What's your problem now? Why are you moaning?
I don't know. Just can't believe he's a father, not a grandfather. I mean, it's not right. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
All right. He's having, I guess I'm a little jealous of him. He's got such
His wife is so much younger than you.
It's unbelievable.
How old is she?
How old is his wife? Like, or his girlfriend? Like 28 or something.
That's wrong.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
He's so funny. He always talks about how she's an oceanographer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what she was going to school for before she met him.
He could be my father and she could be my daughter.
Yeah.
No way they should be together.
But he's funny. He's a good guy. I like him. He always stuck up for me. Back in the old days at NBC, he went into my general manager's office and started yelling at him.
Yeah.
He's got balls. You know, it's not even balls. He's just...
Most people are self-absorbed in this business.
Like Kathy Lee.
That he actually noticed what another performer was going through and cared enough to go in and go to bat for him is very good.
I dig him.
Shows a lot, says a lot.
Yeah. Hey, come on, let's do some news. That's what people really want. They want to know what's going on. They like the way you do it. The entertaining. Yeah, I understand. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you how to do it. Let's get your theme music on. Hold on. I'll introduce
you. That's not my news music.
And now the author of Quivers of Life. Who overcame a lot of things in her life to be the woman she is today. She's completely cured, and here she is. New woman.
Sick.
Coming to Dallas soon. This weekend, I think.
Yes, actually. It'll be June 17th at 2 o'clock.
Wow.
A bookstore in Kendall, I guess. Or, no, that's Miami. I'm sorry.
Very good. Well, whatever.
I told him to put the thing up here yesterday. I'm looking. There's nothing up here.
You haven't memorized this yet? Not your fault, though. Let's go on record as saying that.
Howard, I even went and copied it myself. I just said I need a little piece of tape to stick it on the wall up here.
I'll find out. You let me handle it.
Oh, I tell you, I get so much help around here. It's killing me.
Boy. That's all right.
Another book.
Another book.
You know what he says? He really just ran in here and says, it's not possible somebody yanked it off the wall. No, you didn't put it up.
Not possible. Yeah, who would yank that off the wall? All right, anyway, we'll find out where you're going to be. But go ahead and let's start the news. Oh, you do?
He stuck it to the wall that he was supposed to yesterday. 2 p.m. Taylor's.
Jackie's having the best time laughing at you.
5455 Beltline Road in Dallas. Don't be late.
I love when her system breaks down.
What system? There is no system. Let's stick this on the wall, Gorilla. Yeah, sure.
Somebody call the psychiatrist. What's the psychiatrist's name, the one that saved you? I got to get her in.
Dr. Bombay.
Dr. Bombay.
There was something wrong with what I said.
Go ahead.
Always.
Oh, let's see, where do I start first here?
You will be on time also at the Dallas signing, right?
We'll see.
All right, we'll see.
That could be a very interesting Monday.
What time is the signing?
2 o'clock.
All right.
2 o'clock.
All right, very good.
I'll ask this time what is on the agenda after, so that at least if I need to check out before, I will be able to do that and still leave on time.
May I make a suggestion for the Dallas appearance?
No, don't make any suggestions. Let me
just say something.
stumble about on my own.
No, when you're in the hotel, even if they say to you, don't do this, I would say pack up all your bags so you're ready to go before you go to the book
My
signing.
bags were packed.
Oh.
In Cleveland.
Then what was the problem?
I had to go back upstairs, get them,
and how long did that take?
Come down and check out.
Didn't the bellhop go up and get them?
No.
You went up and got your own bags?
Sure.
Just want the guy to make a living?
I had left a couple of things sitting out on the counter, but it wasn't really any big
So you
deal.
weren't packed.
I was packed.
But there were things out on the counter.
A couple of items of makeup.
Pack up all your cares and woes.
At the last minute, thinking I'm not having to check out now anyway. It's
Can I say
no
something?
big deal.
Just listen to this. When you first check in,
You know
check
what?
out.
Why don't you come with me?
Right, okay. When you first check
And
in,
you
check
can
out.
do everything.
No, you know what you have to do now. Have all packed before you go to this appearance.
You know what? All I've got to say is
Express checkout.
express checkout.
Is that all you have to say? All right, very good. Come on, let's do the news.
$20.
You know what? I'm going to check
$20
out.
what?
Says she'll be late for the book signing.
That only $20.
All right. I say she'll be on time.
Only $20, Jackie.
Are you going to be on time? Because I don't want to lose $20.
$20. Go bet him 100.
Want to bet 100? No. I'm not willing to either.
So spiteful.
Right. All right, $20. I say she'll be on time. I have faith in her. No, it's 2 o'clock, so try and get there 10 or 2, just so I can get my $20. Please.
I can't believe you won't go more than
I won't.
$20. This is an opportunity to take Jackie's money.
Too risky. It's just every book signing, something's happened where they don't tell you something.
No. I was on time.
Can I just change the bet a little bit?
Okay.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is.
Right, I understand.
No.
Because it's not really her fault.
Oh,
Right. Okay.
Is it my fault when I am on time?
I didn't know it was a different time zone.
Is it my fault when I am on time, Jackie?
Hey, I got a quick 20, right? You're going to be on time?
$20.
I'm going to be on time.
$20. You're on, pal.
You want to give it to me now?
All right. Do I get a discount? Just give him 10.
You want to give me 10? Right?
I'll give you 10 on a retainer.
No face.
No,
These are
please,
my friends. You know what?
Please be on time.
There are a couple of things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, and people say, and these are your friends.
Right.
Boy, oh boy.
I just don't want to lose my 20. You're my friend if I get $20 on Monday. Like a rebate.
How much money have you lost for me because I always
50.
go along with you?
All right, here we go. All right, come on, let's do the news.
You swore to me you could beat that little shrimp Nils Lofgren.
Man, I don't know what went wrong there.
And I lost $500. Did I complain?
Wait, you're foolish. You know I can't win any basketball game.
You were showing me Robin.
That was sure money.
Midget.
The guy's a midget. How did I lose in basketball? You know what it was? I was nervous. They didn't tell me.
So, you got overcome.
It wasn't my fault I lost.
Your knee out.
All right. The guy literally came up to my waist. I played Nils Lofgren in basketball on Channel 9. There was no way we could lose. I bet him $500. Robin bet $500. There was no way I could lose. The guy was a midget. All I had to do was dribble to the basket and put it in.
Yeah, but you scored 2 points.
I scored 2 points. Yeah. I was out of breath. You know what it was? He winded me.
It was pitiful.
In all fairness, the guy was fouling me a
Well,
lot.
then what happened when you played Baba Booey in tennis?
I was nervous. I was sick that night.
There's always an excuse.
Because I played him at my house, and I beat him 6 straight sets.
You were on aspirin, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. In all fairness, I was on aspirin.
I just want to point out that I'm not the only one who has excuses.
All right, do me a favor.
Yeah.
I'd like to win $20. Just be on time. That one you can't. That's a no-brainer.
All right.
All right.
Oh, boy.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Now, where shall I start here?
You want a few minutes to compose yourself?
No, it doesn't. Not necessary. I just wanted to look over the lay of the land to see what I want to talk about first. I missed talking about this story yesterday, so I'm going to start with this today. Did you see that Courtney Love, the lead singer of Hole and the widow of Kurt Cobain, was taken to the hospital suffering from a drug overdose the other day?
Yeah, but wasn't the drug like Halcyon or something?
It was a prescription drug.
Yeah.
She was on her way from New York to someplace, and they say she took this medication before she was about to get on the plane. Well, here's her spokeswoman.
Who is her spokeswoman?
Who wanted to talk about what happened with Courtney. Her name is Bryn
Brindelthal?
Rodenthal.
Brindlefly?
Brindlefly.
All right, here we go. Here's Bryn Brindlefly.
My understanding is she took these
I like these people who have to explain for, like, Courtney Hull's behavior.
Well, that's what I think is beautiful, that she's so out of control and she has all these, people.
Courtney Love.
Who are explaining her to the rest of the world.
Prescription pills before boarding a plane to fly home to Seattle. She'd been in New York City all last week doing some promotional work.
So you need people explaining why you were late for the book signing.
I don't have this kind of help.
I know.
I have guys telling me everything's my fault.
Do me a favor.
This woman goes and takes an overdose. What difference does it make whether it's an overdose of prescription drugs or some other kind of drugs? Everybody's stressing how these were not illicit drugs. Like there's a difference between addictive prescription drugs and addictive street drugs.
Do me a favor.
Why is this 20-year-old woman on so many drugs?
Hire this woman Brindlefly for Dallas in case you're late, so I can play the tape.
Could you answer that question?
No, first of all, let me say something. You know, in the paper today they were saying, well, now they're going to have to look into whether they should take away her kid or put the kid in custody. And I got to tell you something. There are so many horrible mothers in this country, crack-addicted mothers.
Who don't have nannies.
This woman at least has a nanny. She took a sleeping pill. You don't think that people are taking sleeping pills every day in America? What are they?
But I object to the excuse that it's prescription drugs.
Well, I think the assumption was that she had been on heroin. She wanted to clear that up.
Doesn't matter. Let's call a spade, if we will.
Let's not.
And say that, when people are having problems with substances, it doesn't matter whether they got them from a doctor or not.
Right, of course.
What if this woman's 20 years old, 20-something years old? Why is she so sick and needing drugs?
Why is everybody so sick? I need drugs, okay? And come on, mellow out. You were sick, too.
Nobody's giving me anything.
Yeah, believe me, you need something. You better calm down with this. What I'm saying is, Robin, I don't even know what I'm saying. Let's continue. You got me crazy.
A friend told cops Love was popping prescription pills on a flight back from New York, not just taking something before she got on the plane, and passed out completely by the time she was driven back to her house.
I think it's funny that everyone wants to take away her baby. Like, every time you read an article about her, there's so many. I could take you out on the street right now and show you.
He never sees that kid.
Yeah. Why would you want to take away her baby? I mean, if we're going to start taking away her baby, we better start taking away everyone's baby.
Yeah, you better round up every child.
Well, it almost reminds me of like the FCC. You find one high-profile person and you hound them about their baby, and all of a sudden everyone feels like, oh, everything's okay. They're even going after her baby. They're on top of things. They're not on top of anything. There are crack-addicted mothers every day who are, in fact, the state is aware of them. They don't know what to do with their babies. Well, I'm going to worry about Courtney Love's baby?
At least she's got, plenty of hired help.
Yeah.
Help is always taken care of. Meanwhile, she has other spokespeople saying that it was no overdose. She merely suffered an adverse reaction to a new prescription. There's always an explanation.
See?
There's 50 explanations here.
They didn't tell her. Right?
They didn't tell her how to take them, I guess.
Exactly. It happens.
She has no plans to drop out of this summer's Lollapalooza concert tour as a result of her latest problem.
She's cool. She's good. You're not kidding. We got to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words with more news.
We'll be back with the Howard Stern Show. Don't go away. 97.1 The Eagle.
I would love to.
Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
I would love to. I would love to be out of jail.
Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. She's good. I would love to. It hasn't. I'm thinking of releasing an O.J. rap song. Working on that right now. Okay, Robin, we're in the news, and what else is going on?
Well, I thought I'd go next to a good news story. The Air Force pilot who spent 6 days on the ground in Bosnia surviving on insects,
lizards,
and rainwater, feasted on lamb chops and shiitake mushrooms yesterday at the White House with President Clinton.
Shiitake mushroom.
He says that he is not a hero, and he thinks that all of us. In fact, I want you to do this.
Yeah.
He says, in fact, this is the statement he made yesterday at the White House when he talked to reporters, saying he's not the hero. Here are who he thinks are heroes.
I did say that.
This is Scott O'Grady.
When I talked that guy down from the bridge, and I was at the press conference, I said, I'm no hero. And then you chimed in and said, Howard, you are a hero.
Well, this is who Scott O'Grady thinks are heroes.
Fred Norris. All right, here is Scott O'Grady at the press conference.
Mega Chi.
What did he say?
Now stop that. No, Jonathan. Tom Cruise is no hero. Sutton Houghton is not a hero.
John Eggy Beard.
Would you play Scott O'Grady?
All right, here you Scott O'Grady. All right.
The greatest gift that anybody could ever give me would be to, if you know anybody who's ever served their country in NATO or the UN or the United States of America, or who is serving it right now, is to go up to them and thank them for what they're doing, for trying to make this world a better place.
So now all of you can thank me.
For what?
I was in the military at one time. He says you should go up and do him a favor. This would be a gift to him. Thank me. No. Still can't get anything.
Thank you.
She didn't even want to go.
But anyway, he was at the White House yesterday and got a hero's welcome, even though he says he's not one.
And did you hear what he ate? One of the things he ate was
mega cheese.
Mega cheese.
Mega cheese.
Can't believe it.
I didn't know they had that in Bosnia.
Yeah, mega cheese.
That's what's on the ground?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we were talking about the Puerto Rican Day Parade yesterday.
Hey, I have some tape from the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Here it is. There it is.
I don't know what that is. But after the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Manhattan, people obviously go back to their neighborhoods all charged up and continue the celebration.
Right.
So more than 100 people were arrested and 4 cops were injured at post-Puerto Rican Day Parade celebrations in Brooklyn.
The Puerto Rican Day Parade should be outlawed, as all parades should be outlawed.
They said there were 5,000 to 10,000 people in the streets of Bushwick the other night. At one point, they had a caravan of over 100 cars going through the neighborhood. The problem began at 10 o'clock, and cops were called, and reinforcements were called in after that for other parts of Brooklyn and Queens to help clear the streets. About 3 hours later, they started making arrests, taking 136 people into custody, mainly on charges of disorderly conduct. Most had just returned from the parade in Manhattan.
There was one police officer that had on the news.
I was going to talk about him. The most seriously hurt was Officer Paul Campson, who required 25 stitches above his right eye after being hit by a brick apparently hurled from a roof.
Can you imagine, here it is. We allow in this city something called the Puerto Rican Day Parade, which is quite frightening. And yes, the St. Patty's Day Parade is frightening, but yes, we know that.
Anything that will lead to this is frightening.
Yeah, a Puerto Rican Day Parade is filled with people who sit there and barbecue in the middle of our great streets, tie up traffic. It is such an unnecessary thing, these parades. I saw on the news 2 young girls, bleach blonde hair, died, obviously, and holding a Goya Beans sign. I mean, that's not a parade. That's an advertisement. And then these felons...
excuse me?
These felons who were down in this area of... that's a felony, isn't it? Throwing bricks at a police officer?
Well, one person threw this particular brick. I don't know how you can label the entire group.
Well, they were rowdy. They were people... it's frightening. You can't walk down the streets. Robin was walking down the streets in her own neighborhood, and she lives in some shishi neighborhood. There was some guy there all of a sudden, there early for the Puerto Rican Day Parade. What did he say to you? Say what this guy said to you.
Hey, Mommy, I like a nice, fat, black woman.
Yeah, hey, Mommy, I like a nice, big, fat, black woman. He said that to my Robin.
Fat, you are just right.
Oh, he insults you, and then you're going to tell you you're just right.
And I got a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what he said to you. And, you want to walk down your streets, and you want to be unaccosted by these individuals.
He just likes to get home.
Yeah, this guy is never in the neighborhood, except for on his big day, his Puerto Rican Day Parade day. And these parades are useless to the city. They're filled with garbage. I've never seen more garbage in the streets than after the Puerto Rican Day Parade. The amount of refuse that has to be cleaned up costs the city a fortune. There is no reason. So everybody can feel good about themselves? You want to be in Puerto Rico? Go to Puerto Rico. You want to be here? Be here. Forget Puerto Rico.
Many residents, however, charge that the cops overreacted to what is a yearly celebration.
You do not evaluate cops.
Robert Rodriguez, the manager of a local ice cream store, said he saw police pushing and shoving residents and was almost arrested himself. He said he was just outside waving a flag saying, "Que viva Puerto Rico!"
Yeah, right. Well, does that sound good? Look, let me say something.
They tried to arrest him.
You got to work your yob and calm down. You got to keep life simple.
They're upset because the police came with barricades, wearing riot gear, and in helicopters.
Of course, you don't.
They incited everything.
Yeah, of course. Of course, it's always somebody else's fault. Listen, let me tell you something. If a cop comes into an area and a brick hits him in the head, there's something wrong with the people who live there. There's something wrong with the people who are throwing bricks. They've lost the ability to understand that if things look unruly to the cops, go in your house and mellow out for a few minutes. Relax. You got to be a little afraid of the law. In Puerto Rico, you shook in the boots when the policia came by. You shook in the boots. You know why? Because there's no nonsense there. Now you got freedom and you're abusive. Go in your home. Stay home. Fry your beans for the third time. Refried beans. That's what that's called. They fry them and then they fry them again and keep frying them. And it's the same with that. Don't think I'm racist. It's the same with this St. Patty's parade. People vomiting in the streets. It's despicable. I don't need that. Who needs
You're
that?
out of order.
This Puerto Rican Day parade, they're booing the mayor, Mayor Giuliani, the best mayor in the world. They're sitting there and booing this guy. Well, disrespectful. Really, it's sickening. It's like, who needs a parade where you sit there and boo the mayor, throw bricks at the police? What is this? I need that? I don't need this. Obviously, they're proving that for one reason or another, the people who attend this particular parade are too excitable to have parades. It's like giving speed to a hyena. You wouldn't do it. They're already jacked up.
My goodness.
You cannot have this kind of behavior and then say next year we're going to have the parade again. You don't do it, Robin. You have one chance to prove yourself. After that,
No, we can't cancel any parades.
No, because that means you're anti-Puerto Rican. I'm anti-parade. I'm not anti-Puerto Rican. I'm anti-parade, period.
Apparently, we're in the minority. A lot of people like these parades, and they're going to go on.
And they're the worst parades. You know, years ago, a parade, Macy's used to put on a beautiful parade with big underdog float, different animals and things for the kids. Now, you can't even tell the people in the parade from the people watching the parade. The biggest thing is a Goya beans float. Goya beans from a can. What are you going to eat from a can for? A bean is an easy thing to cook. I don't need a can of beans. Heat it up. Right. It's a float. You heat up a can of beans and it's a float. A bean is the easiest. Let me tell you how you make a bean. You buy dried beans, you put them in a pot of water.
Well, some beans you have to soak now.
Yeah, oh.
Don't say one recipe goes for all.
Personally, I was on the unwanted pregnancy float. Big coat hanger. Flight of stairs. Look, these parades are unnecessary. I don't care what the ethnicity. You don't have to sit there and celebrate your ethnicity. You're an American now. I wouldn't attend any of these parades. They got a parade for everything now. Sickens me. Have an America parade, one day of the year. America parade. And all the Puerto Ricans can show up at that.
Well, it's interesting that you should say that because there was a big decision by the Supreme Court yesterday.
Yeah, I got the guy on tape. This is the justice who came down with the decision. Listen what he says. All right, there it is. What did they decide, the Supreme Court?
5-4, they said that affirmative action, when it singles out minorities, is unconstitutional.
Fantastic. No. Of course it's unconstitutional. You can't single out one group over another. You can't. It's America. You gotta succeed. You gotta find a way. You gotta find a place.
These laws were enacted to try to right a lot of the discrepancies in economic advancement in this country over many, many years of injustice. However, the Supreme Court now says that you cannot legislate equality. You can't do that. You just have to protect people as being equal before the law, and that's about it. That's all the government can do.
Of course. Government is completely out of line on this. They don't understand. They're messing with the basic fundamental principles of our society. You gotta come here, and of course there's discrimination. It's discrimination always.
The Court said that most federal programs that set aside contracts for minorities and women are unconstitutional.
Of course. When they made these laws, a lot of companies would go out and get a token minority, hire them to be the front man for these groups, and they'd suck out all the money out of these government funding things. And meanwhile, the white man was getting there was no minority ownership
involved.
No.
But I oftentimes think that when something like this is enacted, people go out and ruin the program
Yes,
too.
they do.
So that there's a lot of animosity built up toward the group that it was supposed to help serve. So anyway, since we are a bunch of scum who can't do anything right, we can't have these laws in place.
Hey, speak for yourself. I can do it.
Jonathan. So anyway, the court said most federal programs that set aside contracts for minorities and women are unconstitutional. As I said, these federal racial classifications must serve a compelling governmental interest, which means you can't go and give a contract to somebody who doesn't give you the lowest bid just because they're the minority group. That's not in the government's best interest.
We got to take a break, Robin.
So anyway, that's the word on affirmative action. A lot of people are upset about this.
Fred's upset about it because he was hoping his race would get some breaks, whatever race that is.
They plan to put a lot of pressure on the president. It should be an issue, I suppose, in the election.
Here's
consider this turning back the clock.
Here's a tape of one man who was affected by the cuts.
Tom Cruise.
All right. We're going to take
tell that man to be quiet. He seems to be affected by everything.
All right. We're going to take a break.
John Eggy Beard.
All right. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. Stay right there. All day. Yeah. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back for one of the final days of the Howard Stern Show.
All right, we're back, and Robin, you're doing the news, and what's there in the news?
Well, we might as well get into this whole O.J. Simpson thing. It was the year anniversary of the death of Nicole and Ron Goldman yesterday, so there were a couple of... Stop it, Jackie.
Jackie, it's a weird sense of humor.
There were a couple of candlelight vigils held out in California. Here is Denise Brown, the sister of the slain woman, giving her eulogy.
I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints of snow.
Hey, Jackie, you blow.
Hey, that's not funny.
You're the 1,000 winds that blow.
In the sunlight on ripened grain, I am the gentle autumn's rain.
Cool.
When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush. Of quiet birds in circled flight, I am the soft star that shines at night.
She's a bad poet. I mean, I
don't think she wrote this poem. She was just reading it for Nicole.
I hate poetry. I'm a big fan of Nicole, and I'm on her side and everything, but she was lucky in one respect that she missed this.
Oh.
I mean...
Here is Kim Goldman, the sister of...
Did you want to hear the rest of the poem?
That was it.
No, it wasn't.
Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
What the hell does that mean?
Oh, stop
Easy,
it,
OJ. Oh, he's all upset.
They said he didn't observe the anniversary in any special way, but here is Kim Goldman, the sister of Ronald Goldman.
That poem was as brutal as the actual slaying.
Oh, stop it.
Maybe that's what she meant.
My brother was only 25 years old and just on his way to a happy and healthy and prosperous future.
It's true.
When he was literally stopped dead in his tracks.
He was slaughtered. He was slaughtered dead in his tracks.
Well, it's funny you should say that because the reporters who are covering the O.J. Simpson case got an opportunity to look at the autopsy photos that were shown to the jury. And as you said earlier today, everybody had been told that these were gruesome photos of a brutal murder. But nothing apparently can prepare you
to see them.
To see them. All the reporters gasped on viewing.
Oh, God.
Pictures.
They interviewed one of the reporters. Here's what he said.
This is Mother Teresa speaking from the bed.
There you go.
They say that in one of the photos, Nicole has a childlike gaze on her face, her lips slightly parted to reveal her beautiful white teeth. But just a few inches below her peaceful face, Nicole's neck is savagely torn open by a gash so deep that her veins, tendons, and spine are visible.
Imagine that happened to Gary. They wouldn't say exposing his beautiful teeth. They would say exposing his hideous teeth.
His big green teeth.
Here's what one of the reporters said after he saw the pictures.
Mega cheese.
You have to make a joke of everything.
Yeah, that's my job.
Dan.
All right.
The photos of Ron Goldman are just as revolting, and one Goldman is shown fully clothed, his hands clasped in front of him, his clothes and face covered with blood, and knife wounds visible all over his body.
This poor guy, 25 years old, good-looking guy, has the whole life in front of him. He goes to return a pair of glasses. OJ's there. I mean, the perpetrator.
Assailant.
Yeah, the assailant is there.
It hasn't been proven to be O.J. yet.
Yeah, well.
Other news about the trial yesterday. Surprise, surprise. This Dr. Golden, who was the actual person to perform the autopsy in the coroner's office, is not going to be called to the stand. Brian Kelberg, who is questioning the coroners for the prosecution, had this to say after the trial yesterday.
I'm through. Done hunting.
I have decided that we will not call Dr. Golden, which has the ancillary benefit of providing me with an exit from this courtroom. Not that I don't enjoy being down with this court and counsel, but I have other matters that I can attend to.
All that expensive equipment they have in there, and you can't understand what the hell the guy's saying.
But he's saying this will allow him to leave earlier than expected. If he had Dr. Golden also on the stand, he would have had to be there for all the days of his direct examination as well. But he's going to end with Dr. Lakshmangawan.
Dr. Lakshmangawan?
Yeah, and they have decided on the prosecution team that Golden is too damaged a witness because there's already been an admission that he committed at least 30 mistakes during his autopsy, and they don't want to go through that with the defense hammering away at that all over again. So Robert Shapiro immediately jumped up and said that they would call Dr. Golden as a defense witness.
I see.
When it's their turn to present their case. Judge Ito also quizzed the prosecution as to when they think they'll be wrapping up, and they hope that it will be within a month.
Oh.
So
how's a guy make
plenty more to go.
How's a guy make 30 mistakes? What do you do, the autopsy with a fork? What is his problem?
I think he was eating lunch while he did it. I don't know exactly why or how. But an incredible number of mistakes were made at every point in this investigation. Also in the news, they issued a new defense witness list. And it includes the names of O.J.'s first wife, Marguerite. Her children with Simpson, Jason and Arnell, his pal, Al Cowlings, his lawyer, Robert Kardashian, and several people who were aboard Simpson's flight to Chicago the night of the murders.
They're going to have them take the stand?
It also includes the names of his 10-year-old daughter, Sydney, and his elderly mother, Eunice.
Well, that sounds like a good defense. Calling the world.
And finally, Nicole Brown's father, Louis Brown, filed a wrongful death suit
against the O.J.?
Yesterday against O.J. Simpson. He says that O.J. attacked his daughter savagely and then left her to die.
I'd say that's wrongful. They should come up with a stronger word than wrongful. That's downright ballistic.
Remember the Tennessee situation I told you about a couple of days ago where two children were left inside a car? The mother says, she lost track of them for a little bit and started looking everywhere for them, and then they found them in the car, dead.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, now that mother is being charged, she could face murder charges. Prosecutors say they have enough evidence to indict Jenny Bain on first-degree murder charges.
Jenny Bain.
A grand jury could decide on that indictment today. The 20-year-old woman is accused of leaving her 1-year-old son, Dustin, and her 2-year-old son, Devin, in a car after falling asleep while partying with 4 men in a motel room.
Sounds
Temperatures
sexy.
were 90 degrees outside and up to 120 degrees in the car.
We have tape of the party in the hotel room. There it is. Yeah, chew. Oh, she sneezed.
It's a little cold.
They should put her in an oven with Susan Smith if that's true.
Also in the news, they were saying today that this isn't the kind of news Michael Jackson was looking forward to hearing now that he's on this publicity tour with his new album, History. He's trying to resurrect his image.
What is this record out? All I hear is his record is coming.
Well, the single has been released. I think the album is soon to follow.
I never see the video on MTV, so it must not be happening.
But 4 of Jackson's, at the movie theaters right now, they're playing this promotional thing. I saw it the other day.
I don't care what they're doing, Robin. I don't see anybody playing that record. That's good.
Fine.
The hell with
it had
them.
the most ads on Billboard and
It did?
entered very high on the charts. That's all I know. 4 of Jackson's ex-employees were in court yesterday in Los Angeles in the first phase of a lawsuit claiming they were fired as part of a cover-up of the sexual molestation allegations against Michael. Their attorney, Charles Matthews, had this to say yesterday when talking to reporters.
These men were fired because they were recipient witnesses to Michael Jackson coming and going in the middle of the night alone with young boys.
Yes.
Over a period of years. These were among the only people who saw him coming because they were the ones at the guard gate.
So you're not allowed to fire someone for that? He wants to fire him.
He wants to fire him. Why would you fire somebody who's doing his job?
Yeah, but, hey, he wants to get rid of his guards. You ain't allowed to fire anyone?
I think you should keep guys on who are the only guys who can give evidence against you.
I don't know. Whatever it is, you fired him. You can't fire someone because they fired you. I mean, you can't sue them. You sue them because they saw boys coming in. How are you going to prove that? Maybe you could just say, I didn't like these guys anymore. I wanted different bodyguards.
Well, you should take Michael on as a client since you
I should.
Defense. Here's Howard Weitzman and how he sees it.
Let's see what the great genius Howard Weitzman has to say.
He is Michael's attorney.
John Eggy Beard.
John Eggy Beard. What kind of defense is that, Rob?
As good as any.
This guy Weitzman's lost it.
Howard Weitzman.
All right, here we go. Howard Weitzman, Robin.
I think the testimony will be that they were told they could leave and go talk to lawyers, and some chose not to, and some chose to. And, of course, that's our position, that they all signed these documents understanding what they were signing and know what they were signing and did it intelligently and knowingly.
I don't know what he said. He must be a good lawyer.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, my defense would be, hey, I didn't like these guys anymore. I want to fire them. I don't want them working in my house.
Well, according to Matthews, his clients were ambushed. They were brought to a meeting, handed some documents, and they were told, sign these or you don't get paid.
Right. So they signed them.
And, oh, by the way, you're being fired.
Okay.
And that was it.
I see.
Apparently, that's not the way it's supposed to be done.
That's a tough one to figure out. What? Yeah.
Also in the news, of course, tonight could be the night that the Houston Rockets repeat it all. Isn't it true that they are up by 3 games to none?
I don't even think they should show up for the game. I think it's already over.
Playoffs?
Yeah.
So they're going to meet the Orlando Magic one more time. However, there is also the threat of an NBA lockout by the owners. And Hakeem Olajuwon, who is the star player for the Houston Rockets, said that would be detrimental to the game.
He said that and everyone understood it? He used the word detrimental? All right. Let's see.
Both owners and the players have to sacrifice, have to compromise.
What?
To make it work. Locking out players.
What language is he talking to?
He's speaking English.
So, everybody loses that way. And it doesn't make any practical sense.
No wonder he can't get any
I
endorsement
thought
deals.
he said something very intelligent.
What did he say?
He said both the owners and the players have to compromise. Locking out people doesn't make any sense.
That's in Africa. Here it makes lots of sense.
Here is David Stern, who is the...
My uncle.
Your uncle?
That's right.
Well, he's the head of the NBA, and here he wouldn't say whether there's going to be a lockout or not.
He won't say it? Why won't he say it, Robin?
Trying to keep it secret.
All right. Exactly.
We each know.
All this. as a part of her sentence for tax evasion a few years ago.
Why aren't they done with her
She
yet?
served 18 months in federal prison for not paying $1.2 million in taxes.
So lock her back up. What's the thing?
And told workers at her home in Paradise Valley, Arizona, to wrap 700 keychains to be given to hospital volunteers.
What's wrong with that?
What difference does a keychain make? Is that community service?
I think her job was to wrap them. So she let somebody else wrap them.
Yeah, but so what?
Throw her back in jail anyway.
What kind of punishment is wrapping keychains?
Why don't we publicly flog her and get done with it? Why are you
She
giving
then
her...
misled her probation officers to think that she had wrapped the keychain.
We catch her on tax evasion, we make her wrap keychains? That's punishment?
That is the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Put her in a friggin' chain gang. Lock her up for another 10 years. Let her die in prison. That's punishment.
Or make her go actually, feed old people in a nursing home.
No, make her feed AIDS. People who are 2 days away from dying from AIDS.
At least she's doing it.
So let her do
What kind of
something-
community service is wrapping keychains.
Right on.
What do you learn from that? That's so crazy.
Yeah. Punish her. Make her wash feet.
If you're going to do it, do it.
Make her wash feet.
Back to Michael Jackson for 1 second. There are rumors swirling that Lisa Marie is pregnant.
It's not my baby.
She and Michael are to be interviewed by Diane Sawyer this Wednesday.
Just Lisa Marie's a little piece of ass. She's got billions of dollars from Elvis. What's she doing with him? What's her problem?
Obviously, her upbringing wasn't very helpful to her either.
Way to go, Priscilla. You did a real good job raising your little daughter. Elvis is thrilled with what you did.
Elvis should have stepped in. He was a parent, too. But
He couldn't. The man was medicated.
He was busy taking his prescription drugs.
So, I don't know, man. She
Well,
should come
anyway,
be with me.
let me just say that there are rumors swirling. I said, this man is so desperate now to prove that he's heterosexual. Do you know they did a photo layout where they were smooching all over the place and a guy was taking pictures? Why don't they just publicly have sex?
Yeah, why don't you just, pull your pants down and have intercourse?
Instead of talking to Diane Sawyer, just pull out of bed and do it for the American public.
Right. I'm with you.
Ridiculous. But
I'm
anyway,
with you.
so the rumors are once again abound that Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley are expecting a baby. Their publicity people will not confirm or deny. They say only time will tell.
Believe it or not, I got to take a break. They're not done with me yet.
I got more feet to
I got more feet to take.
So go for it.
All right. Oh, boy. Here I am, back again in a few.
We'll return to the Howard Stern Show after these messages. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Is the show still on?
Yes, let me do a quick roundup of our sick and indigent.
Who do you got there?
Well, of course, Christopher Reeve. His condition remained classified as serious but improving.
Oh, he's already better.
Yesterday at the University of Virginia Medical Center, a spokeswoman said the actor sits in a special chair numerous times a day.
See?
And a therapist manipulates his arms and legs to maintain range of motion.
Of course. I wish somebody would do that for me during this show.
Is up and walking around his room, alert. And they say he has experienced a 180-degree turn from his pre-surgery state.
Of course. Again,
after having a liver transplant.
It's who you know. That's how you get those livers.
They also say that while it seems that Mickey is taking well to his new liver, he still faces the possibility of rejection, so he's still in that wait-and-see phase, but he is out of intensive care.
Of course. He could be back to drinking in a few weeks.
Billy Graham was readmitted to the hospital. They say he needs more tests after his collapse last week, but he did leave his hospital bed to close out his Toronto, what do they call that, crusade?
Crusade. Oh, he's fine. That's a publicity move. He's rollerblading today. He's out in the park. I just saw him.
I'm on a trampoline.
I just saw Billy Graham rollerblading on a trampoline. Come on. Who are these guys kidding? Mickey Mantle got his liver because he's Mickey Mantle. The people were waiting in line. They got passed over as far as I'm concerned, even though they tell you that didn't happen. Christopher Reeves, what movie have you seen him in since Superman?
Oh, you think this is all publicity stunt?
Of course.
Oh, you're terrible.
Guy's fine. He's already rollerblading.
Take a spill off a horse head first.
Jackie saw him rollerblading in the park on a trampoline. And then this Billy Graham. Now, no, I'm just kidding about the other two guys. Let me tell you something. Billy Graham, there's nothing wrong with him. He's got a lot of feet to taste.
We'll have to wait and see, but certainly the Reverend Jerry Falwell is not to be outdone. He was treated briefly at a Lynchburg, Virginia hospital on Sunday after becoming dizzy during a service.
From talking too much. He got dizzy. Good. Oh, I hope he drops
I get dizzy when he talks too.
Let's hope he dies.
Oh, please.
Or maybe he has a brain problem. There's
Let's
a guy.
hope that he becomes enlightened.
There's a filthy man.
Gives up on all of his stupid crusades.
Selling tapes. The president is killing people. He's involved in conspiracy. He is having sex. He knows everything, Jerry Falwell. He's the perfect citizen. Citizen A number one. Jerry Falwell. Knows what everybody else should be doing. It's great to be so knowledgeable.
Congo was the #1 movie at the box office this past weekend.
Tom Chiusano says no good.
About a wild man attacking apes.
What is this about? What is this Congo? What is it? And is it a white guy in the Congo?
Is it a white guy?
Yeah.
There's white guys and black guys.
What is it? Oh, tell me quickly what it's about, please.
Basically, the premise is that people need to go into some area of Africa to look for this diamond so that they can improve the communication technologies for this advanced communication firm in Texas somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's another subplot of a guy who taught a gorilla to talk.
Yeah, that's called Tarzan.
And he wants to take the gorilla back to her homeland because she misses being with other gorillas.
Right.
So they all wind up on an expedition together.
The gorilla that talks.
Right.
The guy looking for the communications.
A woman looking for a diamond, and some people who were lost looking for the diamond before. They had another party out there. And she's going to see what's wrong with him. And they have a white hunter who's black.
They have a white hunter who's black?
Yes.
I don't understand what that means.
You know how they always say, the guy who's leading a safari is the white hunter?
Yeah.
And it's usually a white British guy?
Yeah.
Well, they have a black, supposedly British.
Oh, that sounds ridiculous. A white
great
black
special
man.
effects. Great special effects.
Any talking chairs? That's not real. You got a talking gorilla. Why not have a talking chair?
And the whole premise is that, first of all, this whole expedition winds up on the side of or inside of a volcano.
And the gorilla tells the woman.
And the gorillas attack people.
And the gorilla told the woman.
Well, the gorilla leads them to the area.
But the gorilla told the woman that he missed the other gorillas?
He told his buddy there. He had a buddy who was a guy.
Oh.
And said, he wanted to go home. That's why the gorilla was getting depressed.
Oh.
He kept painting pictures of the jungle.
I got news for you. If I'm here much longer, I'm going to get depressed. I want to go home. I'm like the gorilla.
What are you going to paint?
Oh. And then what about, someone told me in the movie, a parrot marries the girl who is on the boat?
No. We don't have any cross species.
Oh, I can't believe that.
And it's going to be a great telethon for Jerry Lewis this year because there's...
Jerry won't be there?
No, Jerry is taking time off from his hit Broadway play to run the telethon, of course.
Ugh.
But there is a breakthrough in treatment of ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, as it is more popularly known.
And why does this always happen right before the telethon?
So Jerry has something to crow about to get more money.
Yeah, so he gets billions of dollars. They still haven't found the damn cure for muscular dystrophy. They should have cured that months ago.
In a 9-month study of 266 ALS patients, they say that they have a drug called myotrophin.
I'm on that.
Which, when they give it to people, they seem to have less severe symptoms and they are stronger.
I think Courtney Love is into
than
that.
people who are not administered this drug. So they think that's real progress. However, other experts are saying we need more tests and it'll be years before it's ready for everybody to take. So
Yeah, Jerry Lewis's shtick as he comes on and goes, I got great news. Guess what? He gives you some lame news. We now know there is a Duchenne's gene. Yeah. Did you find a cure? Well, I think the only way to find a cure for muscular dystrophy is to give Jerry Lewis muscular dystrophy. Then they'll find the cure. They must be buying buildings with that money. I don't know what they're doing.
I just do the reporting here.
I hear
I've
you.
done an investigation of the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
They must own some good buildings.
Well, that's what's happening, folks.
Good for you, Robin. Nice job. Dean and Jerry will reunite before they find a cure for muscular dystrophy. Hey, Jackie, good luck to you with your 350 filthy jokes on CD or cassette. It's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. I don't think that's a lot of money. That's like less than a penny a joke, I think. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free, 1-800-323-KING. Saturday night, June 24th, Jackie at Historic Club Benet in Sayreville, New Jersey. Jokes and Jokeland internet address. Call 516-9221. Remember, 516-9221 is not a pay service. Robin's book, Quivers of Life, out on sale, and, of course...
I'll be down in Dallas this weekend, Saturday, 2 o'clock, in Beltline.
Say 2:15.
What was that?
Say 2:15.
Two-ish.
Shut up. No, 2.
2 o'clock. Please don't be late. I got a bet going on.
$2.20 for Howard.
I believe in you.
$20. Taylor's on Beltline Road at 2 o'clock, Saturday in Dallas.
Fred Mania comes to Jersey. The Fred Norris Band at Club Benet this Friday, June 16th.
We never find out if Fred's on time.
No, he'll be on time. What else has he got to do? To order a signed copy of Stuttering John CD, call 201-942-OUCH. David Brenner, Robert Klein tonight at the Sylvia and Danny K. Playhouse at Hunter College in New York. If you're planning a wedding or party, you need a DJ, call Scott the Engineers, Rocket Entertainment. 718-BAG-5040. Don't forget the E-Show tonight with Sandra Taylor.
Yeah.
Sandra Korn.
That new actress.
I will be doing the entire interview with my pants off. With my pants off. With my pants off. With my pants off.